Well, well, well! Good morning, lads, lass, and non-binary folk. Sorry for the slight delay. I was getting my tea. Anyway, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? I am actually quite sleepy, all things considered. I am feeling quite sleepy. What reason? I do not know. Good morning, Artie. I'd say it's been a while, but it hasn't been that long, has it? Oh, I forgot to put my tea up. I'm actually quite sleepy today for some reason. Our big kitchen knife is gone. How? We don't know. We don't know. I don't know why you capitalize big kitchen. Like it's something I should know. But I'm sure it's terrible for you, Panda Knives, considering your name is Panda Knives. Missing your big kitchen Panda Knife might be difficult. But yes, other than missing your stuff, how's everyone doing? I am well and truly into summer over in Japan. And it is so miserably hot. Really, it reminds me of home. Give me a moment. Search the whole kitchen, we can't find it. Did somebody actually walk out of the kitchen with it? Is it actually sitting in like... Why am I behind my picture? Have I always been behind my picture? Huh. Currently 8 PM here. It is currently a beautiful, bright and sunny 9 AM in the morning. I've been up since 6 AM. And the sun has been up since something like 4:30 in the morning. I was really spoilt being closer to the equator. Yeah, 4:30. 4:36 is sunrise. I remembered today because I woke up to get a drink of water because I lived my best life last night, which was I came home, cooked myself some dinner. Mwah, delicious. Shogayaki, love it. Really gotta put that behind me. Okay, much better. I'd rather be in front of my picture. Up until 2 PM yesterday. Well, I don't know if I should be impressed or worried. I do hope you drink at some point. I do hope you drink at some point. Drink? Sleep. God, I've got tea on the mind. I'm staring at a cup of tea. Sorry, drink. Looking for the knife all that time. Were you looking for the knife all that time? That'd be a real Sisyphean task. I have been drinking it. Well, I'd hope so. Sort of necessary for the continued function of a human being. If you are, in fact, a human being, Panda Knife. I don't think we've ever really figured that one out. But yes, I did a very fun thing as I came home. I cooked myself some shogayaki last night. And I popped myself open a bottle of 2022 Koshu wine. I don't know where it's from. I think it's from, it might be from Yamagata. Too sure. Yeah, I think it's Yamagata. But I grabbed myself a bottle of Japanese white wine. And I just kind of sat around, you know, reading and sipping on some wine. And before I knew it, I'd gone through both my dinner and the whole bottle of wine. So I did give myself a slight headache. That's why I was waking up throughout the night needing to get some water. But luckily enough, I drank enough water and the headache disappeared by the morning. So good job, me. Anyway, Hella yelled and woke me up and frankly shook me. The knife is gone! The knife is gone! Tell me! Did you put your name in the goblet of fire? Sorry. Sorry, that's the feeling I was getting. The knife is gone! Did you take the knife? Did you put your name in the goblet of fire? He said calmly. Then they're waking up screaming that I have the knife. Make a good point, RT. God, this is such a good tea. They do make a nice tea, the Australians. They do make a nice tea. I'm speaking as if I'm not Australian myself. We do make a nice tea, we Australians. Start including myself. I'm not quite Japanese yet. Nihongo mada benkyou shiteimasu and all that. Yes, looks like you had an exciting thing, and all I did was drink a whole bottle of wine. About 12%. It's not very strong wine, is it? Is it Yamato? Yamagata? Yamanashi, I think. Sorry, Yamanashi. I forgot. And it's good to know that Yamanashi uses the same nashi as the word for pear. You could hear me flicking it. Hey, Eric and Chad. Hello, J-Heng. How are you? We're talking about pandas' knives. Which now sounds like a euphemism. Actually, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a kitchen knife. That happens to be owned by the family of panda knives. And I'm talking about a wine that I drank last night from Yamanashi. Literally mountain pear prefecture. Made of glass. Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Knock knock knock. Anyone there? Any wine? Yeah. Koshu. Oh, my friend Duffish. She's also a Vtuber. Part of a company who can't play games because we don't get enough views. So never mind that idea. I don't know why I found that so funny. Because usually games are something you consider that is the easy thing to do. There's not as much energy and it's like, no, they don't get enough views. Don't play games. Yes. Fair enough. I'm glad you talked yourself through that one. Oof. Ugh. Yeah, it was not a bad wine. Both quite interesting now I've had. That sort of thing. Both quite interesting varieties. Muscat, Bailey's number A, the red Japanese wine, and Koshu, the white grape variety. Very interesting. Very nice. Now a hybrid, I believe it's some sort of hybrid of some European grape from many, many years ago. Alright. I'll talk about that later. But yes. Spanish check because I'm personally friends with him, knowing his old I imagine there's a lot of people like that with me as well. So how was the Eldest Ring on Eldest Ring on DLC? Shadow of the Edge Tree. Well, Shadow of the Skidoo Tree. Thank you very much. The Skibiddly Bop Tree. The Scatman Tree. I'm a Scatman. Skibiddly Bop Bop Bop. God. My nephews used to sing that song so often. Like 15 years ago? 10 years ago? 20 years ago? I can't remember how many years ago it was. Yeah, he's the whole damn world. Feels like it was a long time ago. It feels like it was not too long ago, but also 10? 5, 10? No, it's 2034, isn't it? Can't remember what it was. Well, my nephews used to say that all the time. I'm a Scatman. Skibidi-doo-up-a-bit-a-bit. They were pretty small at the time, though. They got it from some sort of... got around their schools. Anyway, what was I talking about? Edge Tree. Shadow of the Skidoo Tree. Yes, looking back on it, it is interesting. Looking back on the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, I'd still give it that 9 out of 10 I gave at the end of the actual thing. But, one, there was still so much that I missed. It was very much loved in Japan. There you go. I didn't know that. Lately, I don't know all that much about the Japanese music scene. It's so secular. Secular? The right word? They keep themselves quite domestic market sort of thing. Anyway. Yeah, so Shadow of the Erdtree was, Captain John died, unfortunately. That happens, unfortunately. Such is progression of time, and if he, I don't know, did he die in an unfortunate accident, or was this just of old age? Because that changes very much what I'm going to say. Oh, so cancer. Okay, there you go, it isn't. Yes, that is right, but again, that is also quite life, isn't it? Rather tragic. Always the body turning against you, isn't it? Yeah, I missed you, Eric. Missed you too, Patton. It's good to see you. But yes, going back to the Skidoo tree. I find it quite fascinating. Looking back a week later after kind of playing it and then chatting about it, then thinking about it. Definitely one of the highlights was the dragon fight, Bale. I liked that. I liked there was a lot of like side areas that you just walked off. Because of course they only had a very small main quest. And from what I heard, you only need to beat 3 whole bosses. Apparently you can skip the castle with the dual wielding lady. What kind of unique water are we drinking? Fiji water? Is that what you're drinking? Your sarcastic remarks why I haven't bought a PS2 from Australia. Well, yes. You know, it's just not the right time yet. You know, we're going through some restructuring, and when we get to the next financial year and there's more we've got more capital available, I'm sure we'll be able to get around to that, J-Han. Just sit tight and table it for next time. There you go. That's my business way of saying it. Strawberry, Starburst, ice, sparkling water. What? That's not water. That's a soda. That's just a soft drink. What do you mean? Sparkling water, strawberry starburst, ice sparkling water. Where does the ice come from? Do you have to freeze it? Doesn't that stop things from being sparkling if they're frozen? So never. Good to know. Probably not bringing it from Australia. Well, you never know. Never know. If I ever go back and visit, I might, you know, throw it in my bag and on the way back. Let me get it. I swear it says sparkling water. I don't believe you. But yes, so the Elden Ring DLC, 9 out of 10 experience. I also looked back and was watching other people play, and I realized I'm just much worse at games than I remember being. This is something I've realized I have to come to accept. Even these days, I've become much slower, and I know why. I know why. I think I struggled a lot with certain bosses, when other people didn't struggle at all. Because I was doing a terrible show of it, really. I couldn't dodge to save my life. Literally, I couldn't dodge to save my life. I realized that when we played the original Elden Ring, and that sort of thing, I was a lot freer. I remember. I had like the whole week to sit down and play it. This time, I had responsibilities. And this is something I've always had to come to terms with. Is that I'm much worse at video games when I have a full-time job. When I had my nice part-time job a few years ago, I was able to, have them. And it's more the mental capacity, I find. I've had a lot of physical jobs where I'm perfectly capable of coming home and reading a nice book and reading a complicated thing and doing X, Y, and Z. Then you have some jobs that just really drain your soul, you know? They drain, your little your spaghetti noodle, your pink spaghetti pile. The wobbly grey stuff. Up in your head. It really drains it. And I find that I am much worse, especially games like some software games. I definitely perform a lot worse. And in almost activities that require skill. And I just realized I was really suffering the effects of it while I was playing the DLC. Because last time we played, I think I was between jobs when we played eldenring. It was between when I stopped working in Australia and before I got my job, well, before I moved to Japan. So, yeah, was it? I can't remember. When was that? Oh, that was 2023. It was the year before that, wasn't it? It was 2022. I cannot remember how long Elden Ring was. 2022, wasn't it? So it was before that. It was still between things, I think. Or I took a week off work. I can't remember which. Yeah, stop grabbing for the IRL grinding. I know, right? Maybe I also just jumped straight into it without really getting myself into it. But yes, I also do admit, especially, I don't know why I'm making so many excuses. I don't think you guys care, but I just wanted to explain myself. But I found that because I had already trained, I wasn't able to multitask very well. I was tired already, so it's either I didn't talk and I did really well at the boss fight, or I talked a lot and was more entertaining as a presenter. Don't know if my ramblings are entertaining as a presenter, but they are ceaseless. Like a monkey on a typewriter, I'm hoping that eventually I say something funny, clever, witty, amusing. One of these days. It'll happen. One of these days, this monkey will write the whole works of Shakespeare. Sorry, it's actually called Sugar, Sparkling Ice, Starburst, Strawberry Flavored Sparkling Water, Zero Sugar. That sounds tough, frankly. Sparkling Ice, Starburst, Strawberry Flavored Sparkling Water, Zero Sugar. Get yours now. Only contains 8 grams of Red 40. Side effects may include death or absolute radical nature. Sorry, going a bit back there. Going back in time to old skateboarding ads. Is it red or is it like clear? The pink ones. Yeah, well, I guessed. I made the assumption, Pandanas. Something that gets clipped. That's the idea, isn't it? One of these days. I'll get you guys to tell me the best moment you ever remember from the streams, and I'll clip the 2 minutes around it, and I'll send that in to, like, Hololive as my application. I'm hoping that they'll just take that and go, you know what? I like this guy. Pink, so it probably does have Red 40 in it. Nice. Oh, delicious Red 40. Along with, like, yellow 8. Whatever it is. Truly delicious. Side effects may include being totally radical, absolutely tubular, and death. I would love that if that's how they end one of those ads. Like, oh, you could be too cool. Side effects include being too cool and death. Be warned. Major side effects include death. Oh, how I wish there were more comedic ads. Oh, ads feel so boring. Honestly, I don't see many of them anymore. Since I was told to install a ad blocker, and in another situation I pay for a premium, I don't actually ever have to watch ads anymore, so I've never seen the weird Japanese YouTube ads, which according to a lot of my colleagues are absolutely hilarious sometimes. And sometimes just really bad. Side effects: liver collapse, stomach destruction, kidneys explode. Kidneys explosion, don't know what that is. Member flying off. Even if you don't know, you grow a member and it will fly. Permanent blindness, hair falling out, overdosed of red energy. Please, if you've experienced any of these symptoms, consult a doctor. There you go. Oh yeah, speaking of things, if it red 21 in it, thank you, it doesn't have that red 21. Thank you, don't have that in it. Thank God, don't got red 21 that in it. Thanking God Almighty, ain't got that red 21. You know, my cousin, Rodney, when he was a kid, he had a bit too much of that red 21, and hasn't been the same since. Meaning he's dead. Because he died. Hasn't been the same as he was when he was alive, because he's dead. On the red 21. Gotta understand, that red 21. Alright. Really going on the accents today. What's wrong with me? We're going all over the place today. He's now speaking in tongues. That's what happens when you have red 21, mate. I speak in whatever the hell that accent was supposed to be. I don't know accents. Too much sparkling water. I'm not drinking sparkling water. There's like me become guy saying that non-stop. I hope the guy's doing well. He's probably had too much of that red 21. Yes, I do speak in tongues sometimes. I don't need to go to church, nor have a holy experience to start speaking in tongues. I just need someone to mention something about Australia and red wine. Or Kathy, give us the red wine. Or I need a glass. Start talking like some sort of middle-aged woman who drank too much of that fermented grape juice. Which was me last night. Because I drank a whole 750ml bottle of wine by myself over the course of 4 hours? It was a while, at least. 4 hours? 3 hours. Still a lot of wine. Still a lot of alcohol. It was nice, though. I want to try a nicer one, though. Kind of got the cheapest I could find. The kosher wine seems surprisingly pricey. I guess it's because it's all grown in one area in the country. Surprisingly pricey wine. There's also way too many of them that are champagnes, and I didn't want to put a hole in my ceiling. The champagne cork. But this one was corked. It's been a long time since I've grabbed a bottle of anything. And it had a cork. I had to get a corkscrew out. You have no idea how annoying it was. Because I have a really bad corkscrew. It's not very good. It's been far too long since I've needed to use a corkscrew. I completely destroyed the cork, but luckily the cork stayed together well enough to actually get out of the bottle and didn't fall into the wine. But yeah, it does look like I've absolutely eviscerated this cork. 4 times, cork. Would have been easier to get out. It was tough. Alright. They posted the Discord, did ya? Did ya? That guy with the red 21. Red 40. 21. Yep. Ah, he was referencing that meme. A 21 meme. Yep, and he says it for like a minute straight. What is this? Oh, it's a TikTok, that's why. Was it originally a TikTok? Because that probably explains why it's kind of a weird meta joke thing going on. Seems very much a Twitter thing to do. Well, I'm here drinking that delicious smoked Daintree tea from the north of Australia, probably in some area of land that has cut down a lot of very unique rainforest to make space for. I'm sure activists were happy about that. I think it was. First saw in Your Laugh You Lose, Jimmy here video. You laugh you lose. I fear I'd be far too good at those. You know? I don't laugh that much, unless I want to. I feel like I could do pretty well at a laugh you lose. Maybe I should try it one day. Should get like a punishment wheel of some kind, maybe. I see that's done pretty well. To really punish me for screwing up. But I think I could do pretty well on a You Laugh You Lose challenge. As long as I'm not with anyone else. If there's somebody else with me and they start laughing, I'm lost. I'm gone. But I think I could do pretty well on my own. There are things, I will admit, there are things that do make me laugh uncontrollably, but I've never really tried. It's full Saito mode during. Hey, I could. Just sit here like this. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Did pretty well. You laugh, you lose. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good video. Pretty funny. Good job. I am definitely that friend that you show something amusing to and I don't react as good as you want to. It was a skill that I had to learn. You know, telling jokes back in the day. People were like, that was really funny. Tell something and you just sit there going, oh yeah, yeah. Haha. Pretty funny. I wasn't very good at it. I didn't get a lot of jokes, I'll admit. I don't know why I'm sipping this tea like I'm taking sips out of a good whiskey. And really, it's this fun. But I'm just drinking tea, I swear. It looks like whiskey, but it's tea. Actually, I was spending some time with a friend that I've made, and we were chatting about something, and we're talking about random stuff, and we ended up looking up alcoholic caffeinated drinks, because we got into the conversation of Four Loko, that American drink that changed the American law to make like certain types of drinks like the original Four Loko completely illegal, or very hard or very difficult to make. So that was crazy. So yeah, Four Loko came up in conversation. We looked up the most alcoholic, but also caffeinated alcohol drinks. And I think one of the highest is, of course, the myth, the legend, the espresso martini. It died for a second, now it's fine. It didn't seem to die on my end. Very, very cheap one. Now, we're talking about the brown bottle. I did make myself disappear for a moment there. The brown bottle is how the conversation came up, because we were watching videos. We're just talking about how countries celebrated. And we started showing each other videos of how various countries celebrated, and he's talking about how England and Scotland are the worst when it comes to acting in public after, like, you know, sports game and the like. And he talked about the brown bottle, and he pulled some out. He actually had some of the Buckfast tonic wine he had brought to Japan. So we had some of that. Awful stuff. Really bad. It does taste like medicine mixed with Red Bull. Awful stuff. Well, we got onto conversations about it. And, yeah, I think the highest caffeine per drink and per 100 mil maybe higher in, yeah, slightly else. But per drink is definitely espresso martini. highest caffeine per drink, but the highest ABV is the Caffè Corretto, which is the most Italian cocktail I've ever seen. It's just a shot of espresso and a shot of a spirit. They just have them together. There's just an espresso, like a shot of espresso. And a shot of Caffè Corretto. It was a whole thing. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting conversation. But yeah, Buckfast tonic wine, the brown bottle. And, Four Loko. Yes, it was very interesting. Oh, yes, I didn't even finish the story. Why T reminded me of this conversation was we're looking down the list, and there's one of them was called the Gunfire. It was called the Gunfire. It is a black tea cocktail. Apparently. And I didn't ever realize this is what they were talking about. Is an army cocktail from the late 19th century. Given to British soldiers and American soldiers. And it's even used in Australia. A version of the Gunfire of black coffee is called the Gunfire Breakfast. And it's drunk by... I did know of alcohol and coffee. And they did call it the Gunfire Breakfast when I was... because I did a lot of Anzac days. Of course, my father would never allow it. Or at least he wouldn't want to hear of it. He was okay with them drinking as long as they didn't flaunt it. He was never much of a drinker. He ran the services so often. The people who came to his services didn't drink. But I did see a few people talking about the Gunfire Breakfast. It's served to people... You drink it before the dawn service for Anzac Day, the War Memorial Days. Because they're quite early, and they really wake you up. And so, we actually made the Gunfire with some black tea. And some rum. It's black tea and rum, by the way. And it was pretty rough. It would wake you up, though. Not because of the caffeine, but because of how strong and bitter the tannins get. When the rum is put in, it's weird, because rum is a sweeter spirit. But when you put it in black tea, it gives like a strong tannin, bitter flavor that kind of gets you woken up. It also is hot, so the alcohol kind of goes up your nose as it starts evaporating out of the actual drink, because it's hot tea. It's good for breakfast, well, I guess, if you're okay with drinking that early in the morning. Or the last time I had wine, to be honest. Neither do I. I'm joking, last night. Neither do I. Yes, good old Gunfire. I tried it again later with some of the Australian tea that I had, and it's not too bad as a cocktail. It's fun. It's a fun cocktail. Different, very different. Very different. Very depends on the rum you use, too. Tea in your rum you use would change it a lot. Oh, apparently the Germans make something called the Jaeger tea, which is the same thing. 1 cup of black tea with 1 shot of rum, which is stirred in the cup. Good fun. The Gunfire. I believe I never made that connection before. Bring you back and you're gonna stream these few days and then disappear for 2 to 3 weeks? Actually, it's more I'm gonna probably stream once this weekend and maybe on Monday. I have a long weekend this weekend, so I have 2 to 3 days. Unfortunately, I can't stream tomorrow because I am going on a trip, like a day trip. You know, a few hours north to visit some people, so I can't do it tomorrow, unfortunately. Maybe Monday, probably not. I was just gonna do one stream this weekend because don't you worry. After next week, come next week. I've got my last week. The school holidays start in Japan. The summer school holidays. The really, really long ones. So we can do a lot more streaming then. Can do a lot more streaming then. Because I'll be free to do what I want. As much as I want. It's, you know, holidays. And as a teacher, there are very few things I can do, and I can work from home. That's part of mine. I can work from home during the holidays when they're... Good job, me. I don't have to be at school. I can be at home, working. Quote unquote. Working. As the inverted commas would suggest. I remember gunfire. I use that to keep my rent down. How do I tell them it works when I live? I don't know. I didn't realize your family made you pay rent on the value of the property and not just some arbitrary number everyone decided on was good enough. There you go. Living the high life there, mate. Living that landlord existence before even having a landlord. A landlord. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, so I'll have a lot more time to stream next week. So, this week will be a bit sparse on the ground for streams, but don't you worry. Next week will be, I don't know, desperate for things to do, probably. Hey, maybe we'll get around to doing that sort of you laugh, you lose challenge finally. Maybe I'll finally do one. What do you call it? You laugh, you lose. Y-L-Y-L. Wait, I'm confused. You laugh. Y-L-Y-L. Well, they take out the SRI since they pay lots of stuff for me. I'm very thankful for that. Codependent on them. Well, yeah, codependent or just dependent? Are they also dependent on you? Is that the case? When I was living in the granny flat, that's definitely how people... They were like, damn, I really miss you having the money that you gave us from living in that granny flat. Family member I was staying with. Back in Australia. Easier than having my own place. But, yes. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, stretching. Oh. Reminds me, at the places I work at, my colleagues are always very surprised because I am a very noisy person. I'll admit. When I sit down, I go oof. When I stand up, I go oof. I stretch all the time. I'm always like. And of course, the chair really sells it with me. One of my chairs, the chairs I'm on, they're older and they creak like me. They creak like me. They're like, as the kids would say, it's like me for real. This chair is like me. So when I stretch backwards, the chair goes. I'm like, damn, it's making it even worse. In this quiet staff room, I'm just creaking bones and rattling skeletons. Walked right into a old-style RPG dungeon. That's what it sounds like when I'm ever around. I always go, oof, ah. I make a lot of noise, point is. Just actively and automatically when I do things, when I stand up, when I sit down. When I walk into the room after finishing a class. It's like all the air leaves my body. I'm like, ah. So good time. It really is funny because everyone's so much younger than I am. Shockingly young, really. There's a few people close to me in age, but God, a lot of young people that I work with. A lot of scarily young people. They're all surprised at my age too. They are all surprised at my age. It's the whole thing. Oh. Right. No, depending. I don't do check. Just take out the trash and make my room look nice. Fair enough. Hey. That gets you the rent. Do what you gotta do, man. A lot of my nephews stayed living with their parents till quite late. Nieces and nephews, they stayed till quite late because it was just the financially correct decision in the last 20 years. Staying with your parents and paying them rent rather than paying the real rent. Frankly, I think the best financial decision is just to move to Japan. Rent's so much lower here. Yeah, cut off my shares armrest. Why would you do that? Is it that... You'd have... Did you do it with the kitchen knife that gone missing? Is that where it was? You like stabbed it into the armrest to hide it? Is that where it was? Is that where you've put it? Otherwise, that's quite worrying. Delicious. Cracking it. I was like, okay, it's flapping over. I'm gonna get cut it. Ah, so it's already broken. Fair enough. I use scissors. Ah. Disappointing. Alright. Yes, use scissors, eh? Scary. I don't know if that's even more scarier. I don't know who's more scary. I use panda, scissors, panda, scissor hands. That was such a bizarre move, Edward Scissorhand. But at least it wasn't as bad as its awkward cousin, Edward 40 Hands. Who's so scary what? I'll have to check on something. Is Panda more scary with a pair of scissors than a knife? What's more frightening? Giant, like, garden shear scissors or a knife? That's what's more scary. That's what we're trying to discuss here. What we're thinking about. Kitchen knife. Scissor hands. As bad as Edward Watermelon hands. Rough times for that guy. He's like a plant from Plants vs. Zombies. Beating people over the head with watermelons. Okay. That's how that lean has in its system. Damn. It's been a while since I've heard the word lean. Give me a moment. I need to pour myself another cup of tea. Well, pour myself another pot of tea, actually. I have a little pot. Teeny little pot. It's about 2.5 cups. So I need to go get some more tea. Excuse me. I really should get a proper desk one of these days. God. Let's make another pot of tea, shall we? Dash a bit of hot water over the top and go. Beautiful smoky black tea from the beautiful rainforest of danger. Spectacular. Edward that has his hands replaced something more meaty. Truly a cursed concept. That movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, where their hands are sausages. Anyone watch that movie and Everything Everywhere All at Once? That was a wild movie. A bizarre movie. Great movie. It was a very, very good movie. I'm not saying it was bad, it was just extremely, extremely bizarre. Though, quite unique. I feel like I hadn't had such a fresh experience with a movie in a long time, you know? It felt so fresh. I know it's not unique, truly. It's not truly unique, but it made it feel unique. It made it feel special, one of a kind sort of thing. And, you know, it's just nice to have a movie that... It's nice to have a movie that just did what it wanted, was good, and finished, and wasn't just a basic action movie, you know? I miss good movies that are just by themselves. That don't need anyone else. And they're not just action movies. You know, good movies that are not just... You know, you got a lot of, like, dramedies and comedies and stuff like that. But I'm more talking about, like, nice standalone movies. They try and do a genre that isn't normally done. It's good. You know, Edward Photo Mountains in a real video by the Filthy Frank crew with Max Mo being Edward. I didn't, because I don't think I ever really watched Filthy Frank. I know of it. And yes, it's rather unfortunate for the Doctor Strange movie, Multiverse of Madness, being released. And I watched them right next to each other. I watched one of them, and then I watched the other. And it's really funny, because they truly were such a different experience. They truly were such a vast difference in quality from one another. Very good version of a very good multiverse, that movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Spectacular name, too. Fun, weird story. Just a good movie. And it's been a while. More sci-fi, really. Kind of a bit more of a sci-fi movie. And you don't really get to see sci-fi movies that are standalone. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, it was a bit strange, wasn't it? I have dementia when I get older, for a fact. For a fact? Is it genetic or something? Have your family got the genetic disposition for it, have they? That's rather unfortunate. I stand not to think about it too much. It can get quite depressing. When it comes to movies, that just might just be how you remember things. I can barely remember people's names. I've been like that since I was turned 20. Many, many, many years. Actually, not even that. I was late high school I stopped remembering people's names. Don't know why. I just really struggle to remember names. Just how it is. People have different memories and their brain works differently. My students think it's hilarious when I'm stumped and look really scared when they ask what their name is, and I'm like, I know it starts with a T, and they're like, it's Yuya. And I'm like, because of Another Thunder, which is somehow worse. I think that was a meh movie, kind of a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I said even Destiny 2 campaigns. Hank, I don't feel so good. Shh. He disappears. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Then Lives disappeared. Yes. Very good stuff. Ah, beautiful. Probably should do that tier list, shouldn't I? I'll get to it. I'll do a tier list of the Elden Ring DLC bosses. Lean back a bit. Oh, Panda. Now I have to clean this dust. How could you? Good God. Destroyed him, Jay. He's not even dust anymore. He's just been evaporated. He's now within the water cycle. And get rained down on some poor family when they didn't have rain. I love another one where Hulk and Thor bicker back and forth like a couple. Was that it? No, wasn't that Ragnarok? That was Ragnarok, I think. The one that people actually liked. I think Thor Ragnarok was that one. Love and Thunder is where they kill Zeus somehow, and then he doesn't die. And there's no serious tone, even though the story is quite serious. A man who's going on a revenge journey because his daughter was not saved by the gods, and attempts to find the center of the universe so that he can save his daughter or something like that. Or yeah, Godslayer. Not Kratos, but pretty much Kratos, yes. That one. That's the one. Guy from Batman is the villain. I don't remember the actor who did whatever the hell his name was. Can't remember the guy who was. I can't remember the actor. Christian Bale. No, it wasn't Christian Bale. Realize. Oh, it was, wasn't it? Russell Crowe was Zeus. I knew that one. There you go. It was Christian Bale. Huh. No wonder he seemed so much more serious than everyone else in that movie. It's always so hard to recognize sometimes. I find him so difficult to recognize when you're watching a movie with him. I remember this and not Destiny 2 campaigns. I love Destiny 2. Destiny's pretty bad. Wow. He just said he loved it, J. Hank. He didn't even just say he loved it. He said he loved it. How could you do that to the poor man? How could you do it to him? Alright. This role is truly man. That's why you're so right, Hank. The only fun part is the gameplay. Just, I remember playing Destiny 2 and having a good time with the game. It was good fun. But yes, very nice. I may not remember my name, but I will never forget. Noble Six's sacrifice. That's right. Noble Six. What a man. You passed on the torch. What was that whole speech? You left. Reach took everything except for your courage. That you gave to us. That whole "it didn't take long for Reach to fall" thing, right? Wasn't that a copy thing for a while? Yeah. There it is. That's the quote. I'll never forget Noble Six's sacrifice. Noble Six. And the whole Noble team. What a lads. The whole "it didn't take long Reach to fall." Our enemy was ruthless, efficient, but they weren't nearly fast enough. What a classic speech. Shattered our enemy's response. Our victory, your victory, so close. I wish you could have lived to see it. You belong to Reach now. Your body, your armor, all burned to glass. Very good stuff. Ah, what a good game. I love that game. We should just play that again. We'll play Reach again. Next game, Reach again. Heartbreaking speech. So close. Your victory. So close. I wish you have lived to see it. Beautiful speech. I love those moments in media where you just get that sort of I wish speeches like that existed truly in the world. You know, I wish that this is what it looked like. You know, when a leader gets into power and they do this heartfelt speech and everyone's like, yes! Yeah, play it again. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Get us all to play in a 4-player campaign. Can you even do that? I guess you can, can't you? Apparently you can, yeah. 4-player co-op. We could probably do it on the Master Chief Edition if we tried. I can, but you have fun. Oh, that's right, because you don't own a. You only own a PS2, and this is an Xbox game. It's a rather rough time. Do I even have the Master Chief Collection on? I don't think I have the Master Chief computer. But I have to download that and get that. I'll throw it on my wish list. Why not? Good old Master Chief Collection. Play it on Steam Deck, says Steam. Play it on Steam Deck. So it claims. Have you gotten Game Pass before? No, I've never gotten Game Pass before, I don't think. No. Also, there is a game called Only Up Skibbity Together, and that caused me visceral pain. That called me visceral pain. that there is a game called Only Up Skibbity Together. Good Christ almighty. I also thought there was a game that was just called Let's Take a Bath with Putin. But no, it's Let's Take a Bath with Purin 2. I thought it was Let's Take a Bath with Putin 2. Trending games are a bizarre, bizarre place. I forget the legend says in Halo. Ooh, wop, wop, wop. I met Ebzo. Broke my heart. I know. Truly. A modern Shakespeare. Truly writing a modern Banjo Patterson. Truly beautiful. Truly. Tissue. I have Game Pass and 3 months trial if you want it. There'll be a new Game Pass member to put your card in though. You can cancel it. Oh, speaking of, I recently have been trying out a free trial for a new, like, you know, just like database for stuff to help me study a bit better my Japanese. I've been studying my Japanese a bit more, especially my grammar, and that one had a subscription that I've never seen before. You put in your subscription, you get your free trial for a month, and they do not. It's so quick. You put your email, your password, your username. That's it. They don't ask for anything more. The free trial is a free trial. And it has no chance that you're going to forget and it's going to renew because they do not even ask for your card. You can just go onto the site, bam, bam, bam. They give you your free trial. You don't have to do anything. It's great. I love that. Doesn't ask for my card, and when at the end of the month, it'll just automatically downgrade to the free version, which is spectacular. It is a free trial. It is a free trial. There is no cards, no nothing. At the end of it, it just drops down to the normal free version that everyone can use. That's the thing. This one is no catch. Granted, it is an educational program, so it's likely they're kinder people. So the free is they give it to you for a month, their premium version for a month. You can try it for a month, and at the end of it, it just goes straight. You know, there's no card. They don't ask you to put anything in. At the end of the month, it goes down to the free version. It is educational. The thing, so it's better than Duolingo for sure. Even the free version doesn't have ads. This program. No bloody ads. Christ, there are so many ads on Duolingo. It's so many. Why are there so many ads? Ah. Yes, I was very impressed. It surprised me at how nice and user-forward it was. Catches you have to cancel the subscription before using 3. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's always that, and this program shocked me because it wasn't that. That's what shocked me. It wasn't that. Always hardest way, and now I have titles to shut up. Fair enough. Fair enough. Would you do it for university? Do it through the school of hard knocks, the school of hard knocks, the school of life, school of the hard knock life. Yes, crazy stuff. I was so shocked when this program was like, yeah, we won't take your card. We'll give you the free trial. Super Duolingo 2 months, yeah. It's crazy stuff. Which doesn't fix my fast typing. Hey, I grew up with the language. I still type like an absolute monkey. Seeing me type normally is like watching a monkey on a typewriter. One of these days, I'll get a word so wrong, it'll be another correct word. I'll get a synonym of a word that I was trying to say, but I'll get the synonym so poorly typed that it'll just turn into another synonym. It'll be, yeah, it's just a rough time. I'm not very, when I was younger, before computers, these computers have autocorrect. In my high school and years, when I was all the way up into my I don't think it's even saved now. Much better now. I am, but truly, through most of the first significant quarter century on this earth, I was absolutely awful at writing. And back then, the nice writing, the fancy writing was that really nice, beautiful. Well, I never learned how to do beautiful handwriting. Running writing or cursive just looked like absolute chicken scratches. Looked like a pen. It looked like pens had gotten into a martial arts fight on a piece of paper. Pen-legged martial artist. Had an absolute showdown on my page. No one could understand it. Hell, I could barely understand it. So eventually I gave up on your cursives and your nicer, curvier writing and your nice calligraphy and just really basic, simple shapes. All printed, because that's the easiest way to do it. None of that cursive shenanigans. You can still read cursive, though. Good time. It is really funny showing my Japanese students cursive, though. English cursive. Because it's, like, unintelligible to them. They just... Especially when you start linking words together with your R-U-A-N-T. That's really funny, because it just looks like the same letter over and over again to them. Something like restaurant written in cursive is a nightmare for those poor kids. I have a hard enough time seeing between U and A. Not only because U and A sound very different when you say them as letters, but in words, U and A often have the same sound. Cup, cap. That's a sound, and then you got a sound, but the sound can sometimes be the A. That sound. It's slightly to English ear, Japanese ears though, sound very similar. I've spent a lot of time going, no, it's not a U, it's an A. Much brighter sound, but it's hard to describe that sort of brightness to kids in Japanese. Like, oh, the sounds like cat, But the is like the down. It's a whole thing. I'm getting distracted. I was distracted the moment the stream started. Oh yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. I have that game. No. I'm distracted again. Yes. Good times. Yeah, we're almost to summer holidays. Almost time for me to go relax for a time. Oh, I've also got my first health check. I get to do the Japanese style health check. I got a doctor to come and tell me how bad my liver is. Can't imagine. I'm pretty excited though. Pretty excited to find out how awful my liver is. I get graded next week. Next week I get to go for a health test where they'll grade me. They'll say my blood is A and my liver is B. And my endocrine system is C or something like that. My heart health is B+. They grade me. I wonder if I'll get an F. I feel like if you have an F, you'll probably just be dead. You might just be dead if you have an F. After eating through some Destiny. Have a good one, Eric, and everyone. I will. You have a good one, too. We have a few more hours. I was planning to go for like 3 or so hours today. So we have plenty of time. Playing and streaming Mass Effect? I don't know. It could be a good game to stream, I suppose. It's been a long time since I've played those games, though. Might be good. Currently, the only one I have is Andromeda on the computer. The rest of them are on an old Xbox 360. Long time ago. The stream them, I'd have to buy them again. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. Yawning. Sorry to hear that. Oh yeah. I played it once. I actually had to install it. It was one of those things where I knew it was weird and not quite well balanced and all that, so I I actually installed a heap of mods that people recommended before I actually started playing the game. So the game, yeah, I installed a fair few mods. So the game was easier and more... it streamlined the experience. The annoying stuff was cut out. You know, the facial animations were slightly better, and the lighting was slightly better, and all that sort of thing. Your Taken 3's endings, what do you mean? The 3 different coloured buttons? Or shooting the buttons? 3 different coloured buttons, and yeah, and or shooting the buttons as the final one. Not really shooting the buttons, shooting the choice, but yes, you get the point. It's like what happened to Deus Ex Human Revolution. That literally, you walked into the final room and it was 3 buttons. They made a room of 3 buttons. I don't know what they were thinking. A bizarre choice. Buttons in general. It is a weird choice when they could have just made you make choices before that in a more subtle way that locks you into one of the 3 endings instead of just going to the ending and go, okay, now you make your choice. I feel like there could have been, like, I don't know, a quest or something like that with, if you wanted to do the synthesis where everyone got mixed with machines across the universe. Maybe you could have done something like a quest where you do a heap of stuff that makes your character lean towards that ending. Maybe even meet a character who's synthesized, or maybe Joker, your pilot who's in love with Edie the robot. Maybe you do a quest for them about how they wish to be together and you agree with them and you start this whole process and make a magical key. Or maybe there's even a special item that you acquire at some point that is the activation to that magical colored beam light machine, and you have to do quests to be able to do the ending you want, you know? You have to commit. You have to commit to, like earlier in the game, throughout the game, you have to commit to building towards one of the endings, you know? Talking to, you know, doing the quests for people that would make your character more inclined towards that ending. Maybe even doing a quest that gives you an item to make that ending possible. Would have been much better if you did that way, I think. And make it so that by the time you get to the end, the only ending is either the one you focused on, a general ending that everyone gets if they don't focus on anything, or the shoot the kid in the face and make no choice ending. That's what I think would have been better. Sort of more integrated. But I could see how the button works. In Deus Ex, at least the buttons meant something. I had to really commit to one of the 3 endings, because the idea is they started this whole problem, but yeah. You have better ending selection than Mass Effect. I know, right? You can do so much at that game. But that was an old style of game. OG Deus Ex. The sort of... what do they call them? Simulator? Sim games? What was the term they used in the gaming industry? Sim games of some kind of... something sim games? It's kind of like a lie-off from the sort of immersive sim. That's the word I was looking for. That's an old term. You don't really see that much anymore. Ironically, games have become more immersive, quote unquote. Immersive. But the immersive sim genre has almost all but disappeared. It's rather amusing. I wonder if somebody has definitely done. There is somebody who's definitely done some sort of what's the word for it? Essay? Somebody's definitely written an essay about that. If not made a video essay about it. That definitely seems like video essay shenanigans. Hey, I know I live in a country now that can buy, but really gotta stop. Really gotta stop advertising. I don't need a Steam Deck. I don't play games outside. I listen to stuff. I watch things. I do not play games. Outside, at least. Not because I don't want to play a game. Just that I'm never not doing something when I go outside, so why would I go outside to play games? Seems rather strange to me. I've also always struggled playing games on... I have a Switch, so I have played games on the move before. And I've always found it quite difficult, you know? To keep playing for a long period of time on like a flight or something like that. Tried that on the flight to Japan, it didn't work out very well. How's everyone else's feelings about playing while traveling? Maybe I just get also motion sick too easily. Probably means I need to wear glasses. But yes, I find that in vehicles, either I'm driving, or as a passenger I'm talking to the person driving, or if I'm driving that, I'm either having a nap or listening to music. A podcast if I'm feeling spicy. But I never consider really playing games that much. I know my nieces and nephews loved playing Pokemon on their long car trips. Unfortunately, I was the driver who played Pokemon. I did play a bit of Pokemon when they gave it to me when I happened to be in the back of the car instead of me. I was one of the two drivers, I was the second driver. But I'd also rather play a game of Windmill. Which is really just an excuse to make children understand that the world is a beautiful place and they need to look outside sometimes. That's all I do these days. Sit there and stare out the window as we drive through the Japanese country. Stuff. Beautiful stuff. But yes. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. Why am I so sleepy? Didn't realize my liver would use so much energy to process all that wine. Anyway. I really should have made a list of things to talk about, shouldn't I? Oh yes, we could talk about that. Didn't, we give more industry topics? Didn't, I've seen a whole discourse over the last week or so, maybe, about, what's that company called? The American one, the American Vtuber company. What are they called? Vshoujo, that's it. Got it myself, don't you worry. Just wait, God, yeah, there was a whole discourse about Vshoujo recently, wasn't there? About, them opening up, auditions. The thing is, I didn't even realize they did auditions. I was under the impression Vshoujo's was more of a... I don't want to say boys' club. It's literally the opposite of that. It's literally a girls' club, but... You get the idea of like a invite-only sort of idea. You know? It's tough to say. It's tough to say. But yeah, I was always under the impression they were just a sort of invite. I didn't realize they did auditions, but apparently they've done this once before. They did an invite, like a invitation for auditions once before. And there was a whole... Well, there wasn't a kit and caboodle about it back then, but they had the whole kit and caboodle last time, too. Yeah. Rather interesting, that. There was a whole discourse, and a lot of people seem to fall in one of two camps. Well, maybe three camps. Because last time, from what I heard, I didn't actually know about this, is that they did the auditions, a heap of people applied, and then they hired someone everyone expected them to hire anyway. And they were like, why wouldn't you just hire that person directly like you have everyone else? They just join without needing an audition. Why did you need to do the whole audition and then do it? Back then, I think there was apparently an argument about, or maybe the people that did audition just weren't what they were looking for. They decided not to take anyone. Technically, took somebody who, maybe the person did apply and decided, maybe they refused a normal version. Maybe they refused to take. Maybe the person was like, I don't want to be invited. I want to prove myself. So they did the audition. Who knows? I don't know. Apparently it pissed a lot of people off though. Because then it made it seem like they didn't do this audition in good faith and they were acting like a company that most people have worked for before, which the classic idea of a company opening a position and saying it's free for everyone to get this promotion or free for everyone to get this position. But really, they've already got somebody in mind. They legally just have to put it on the market because they have to. Because it's illegal not to put the job out to the open, even though they know exactly who they're going to hire for the position. That sort of stuff. It did get that sort of corporate feeling, which is quite rather sad. And a lot of people got pissed, I'm sure. But apparently a lot of people having that whole discourse this time with the camp of, why would I bother, they're just going to invite anyway, so what's the point? And you got the people like, yeah, maybe they won't invite, maybe they will just take them, but hey, you're putting your name in the ring, the company still sees your name, and if you are good enough for them to notice you, you never know. One of them is known for hanging out with Hindus, maybe you'll get your peer. That's the whole thing, still puts eyes on you, and then the third camp is, what are you talking about? This is an audition. Those who get hired are the people who are supposed to be hired. So last time, and this time, it'll be the person best fit for the position. What's the point? Do it anyway, in spite of the fact it may not be in good faith. And the others is, they just hired the person who was best for the position. It's always been in good faith. The whole thing. Interesting argument, though. Shame that the optics are like that, though. Did see some people from the shoujo group getting quite upset by the fact the assumptions people were making about them. And I can understand how frustrating that can be. And are you fit to do the job? I don't know. What's special about me, J-Hank? Tell me in 2 minutes or less. What's special about me? Am I fit for the job? Should I hire? I'm tempted. I sat down and read through what I needed to do, and really, it's not as bad as the, I feel like it's not as bad as the Hololive one, actually. Well, the Hololive just needs 5 minutes, whereas this one needs 2 minutes for the video. But I've always been stumped. Let's talk about this, actually. I've done a lot of jobs in my life, and I've done a lot of job interviews in my time. And that's so easy. So the idea is, in a job interview, often you'll get the question. The one that stumps a lot of people. The one that can make or break an interview sometimes. Or sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on the person you're in. Sometimes it's important, and sometimes this question is sort of pervades the whole interview. And that question is, why you? What makes you unique? What makes you special? That's the thing. That's the question. Why you? That's what a job interview is all about. That's why you do a job interview. It's so the person who is going to employ you can see why you. And that's easy when it comes to corporate jobs. Well, it's not as easy. I suppose if you don't have the actual qualifications, it's difficult. But if you've got the skills, then why you can be an easy question to answer. Because they're not asking why you. Why are you special in the sort of, what makes you special on your own? No, they're asking about the job. They're asking about the job. They're asking about what makes you better than everyone else? What makes you the one we should hire comparatively? It's a different question by nature of the situation. They're not really asking what makes you special. They're asking what makes you better than everyone else. They're asking you to compare yourself in a strange way. To pull out examples from your past of how you exceeded where others did not. Where you met the top, you came to the fore, you did X, Y, Z. If it's a leadership role, they might ask, oh, what makes you unique? Or what makes you special? Another one is what makes you fit for this role. That's the same idea. And that sort of thing can be quite easy. You have to sit back and you think, oh, what's they're looking for in this job? What are the skills they're looking for in this job? What are they expecting from me? And then you need to find stories and actionable things that you've done that proves it. Not just saying, oh, I've always found I've got quite the affinity for XYZ. But then you go, oh, because back in my previous job, you see, we actually had a very bad altercation between several team members. And through some work, understanding, and pushing together and making, I was able to have 2 meetings, only 2 meetings, and I was able to set these team members right, and after that we never had a single problem with those 2 team members again. Their efficiency went through the roof, they were able to work together again. All it took was a meeting with me, and I was able to organize the team. Oh, maybe even better with we were understaffed in a day, and I only needed to bring in 1 more employee in a very strategic way, and cover the gap, and we managed to get the whole day done with minimum use of resources, sort of thing, that sort of stuff. You know, you kind of pull in specific examples and really puff up, even if you didn't do all that much in the situation, if you were involved in decision making, just make it it's yours now. But it's much more difficult in a creative audition. You know, it's not something I've ever been good at, you know? You're ever gonna find someone as responsible as Seth with doing things right as myself. By the way, your pants down, huh? How much do you want? I want the job. That's tragic. But yes, it's much more difficult in the creative field because it's not ever a job I've sought to do. It's never a job I ever thought I'd consider doing, to be frank. Didn't expect it at all. These days I'm a Vtuber and now I'm like, well, I guess I should try. I can't tell if it's because I want to, or because that's what I'm still driven by, that nagging sense of success that's always driven me, you know? You always, when you go to a job, it's something that I can't shake, even into my old age, is the drive, the want to succeed in like a classical way, the way that I was grown up towards success was. I was lucky, my family were a bit more maverick than others. They didn't care as much about success in a sort of monetary sense. That was never their thing. They saw success as changing people's lives or enacting change. That was success for them. And change was enacted and people liked it. That was success to my family. But that's what we get for being a family that grew up in a charitable organization. Our job was to help people. So it makes sense that money was not nearly as much of a driving force. Money, I love money. Make no mistake. I want money. And so that sort of slotted a bit into my idea of success. That's always the question you have to ask, isn't it? What makes success? I'm really going on quite the tangent, aren't I? Doesn't matter. What is the success I'm looking for? Am I just seeking to join one of these companies because I think that's what would make me feel like I've succeeded? Or do I really want to do this? Is this something I want to commit a lot more time to? And I've never really had the chance to commit that much time to streaming because I've always been busy. I've always had a rich life outside of the screen. Rather unfortunately. So, the question is, what makes me special? But much more difficult this time, because they're not looking for one thing. I don't have an answer that they're looking for. Took a job as a chef without knowing to cook. Lit your head, I can pick it up for 0. My eyes closed. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Ah, well, you look back on it, even within a year, I took a job as a teacher in Japan, and suddenly I could speak Japanese. I'm pretty good at it. I'm not that good. I can survive these days. Shockingly common, the aluminium. Yes, rather tragically. Depends on how much you're willing to take serious as hobby. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. It's a real question. Even though there's a good chance, but you'd rather put your hat in the ring and decline something than put your hat in the ring and not put your hat in the ring and not ever have the chance. Hard to do this. It's hard to make the choices. Well, I suppose there's no harm in it. The thing I just need to answer is what makes me special. That's the real rub. As a streamer, as a content creator, what's my core? What would make me something to come through? The best I can get is comfort. I'm sort of like one of those comfort streamers. but I'm unusual because I am both male and old. So that makes me slightly different. That makes me unique, certainly, but is that a selling point? Is that something I can convince someone is worth something? That's the question. If I look at my skills, I guess I can edit videos. Hate doing it, though. It's a real question, isn't it? A real dilemma. I can keep things that sort of stuff in my head long enough, and I'm also Australian, which means I have a natural debuff in saying how good I am. That's the thing. What do you want from the company, too? That's a good question. You're asking the right question. What would I get if I joined a company? If I knew I was going, what am I looking for? Again, this comes back to my concept of success. It's a fascinating little going very introspective about me today. We're going inward today. I think I encourage you to start having the same things. Look into yourselves. It's always useful to have these thoughts. You know, as an Australian, I have a natural debuff when it comes to praising myself and really selling myself. It's a natural issue of Australians. I've never really had to do it. As long as I was confident, as long as I could get that interview, I was pretty confident that I could convince someone to hire me. I wasn't wrong. Often I did have great success when the interview happened. I was able to have an interview, and I was able to get a job. The only times I didn't get a job after I got an interview were when the company had already decided on somebody else. Because you say what they can take from you, but what can you take from them outside still? That's true. That's true. I already know what I'd want. The way what can I do with a company that I cannot do now? I'd like to say this quite a lot. So for one, there's a lot that I can't do now that... Let's take the object thing. Let's scale it up. Say I was a successful indie. What would a company give me if I was a successful indie that I couldn't do as a successful indie? I don't know. As an indie, maybe even without a manager, you're much harder dealing with other companies. Sponsorships, company stuff. Another thing. Collaborating with other companies. So, as an indie, you have to stick with indies often. You know, maybe collaborating, commodities, merchandising, but I don't know if I care that much about merchandising. But a company can give you support. It can give you a safety net. It can give you access to a legal team. It can give you access to a manager. It can give you access to other companies. That's things. Very business things. Which is probably good. A company should be handling most of the business things. But then you've got the disadvantage. Now there's the company handling all of the business things, and some people don't like that. There's games you can't play, people you can't talk about, people you can't talk to. People you can talk to that you don't want to. People you have to talk to. Things you have to do. There's responsibilities. I've always been pretty good at responsibilities, though. The limitation on games. Yes, that's true. But, as an indie, if you get big enough, you're still going to end up running into that limitation on games. Because, especially me, in Japan, I am vulnerable to a game creator just not liking me. I'm vulnerable. A company can save me from that vulnerability by giving me access to actual permissions. Actual legal defense. That's something a company could do. Would be very difficult for an individual to do, even if they are popular. Couldn't play PS2 game, I know, right? It's one of those things, isn't it? There's the good and the bad, and the ugly. A company, you have much more responsibilities, you are much more expected to succeed. So you really have to think about it, don't you? You really, really have to think about it. And it's a lot of things you can think of that you can get from the company, but to me, I struggle most with what I want, what the company wants out of me. That's the thing. I feel like if I could nail it down, I could distill my essence into a 5-minute video, I would succeed. I could just get how I am in job interviews to be how I am in that video. It would be so good. Maybe I should just do a job interview. Do a skit. 5 minutes. It's just me interviewing myself. With a really terrible accent. What makes me... And you know what I'm going to try? The thing is, I want it to flow naturally. The frustrating part, I feel my brain can't concentrate on something for more than 2 seconds, so it's kind of hard to make these sort of long-term decisions. What makes me... me? It's a question, rather embarrassing to be asking at my age. But it's a very different context. What makes me a screamer? I can't even claim I'm a good screamer, because if I was a good screamer, I'd be more successful than I am now. So really what I'm trying to do is use the company as a chance to... That's what I'm kind of... Right now, what the best thing the company can give me is a chance to really show what I'm worth. To know what I'm worth. When given the backing of a bigger name. My 15 minutes of fame. That's the greatest advantage a company could give me. Right now. Be it HoloLive. Or Vtuber. Whether you can go full bartender mode. Well, that's the advantage, I think, of the Vtuber, fellas. If they are, as they are claiming to, looking for small, maybe semi-successful or not at all successful creators in this, that is at least what they've said. In their arguments against people just saying they're going to hire another one of their friends. Those sort of things. Vtuber would be fine with that. I think Vtuber has somebody who makes cocktails all the time anyway, so I could probably go full bartender with Vtuber. But yes. Wait, HoloLive 2 has a bartender, don't they? Robert, he's definitely a bartender. And those people drink all of the time. I think as long as it's at the right time of day, and I'm not streaming to a heap of children, I think the corporations would be fine with me drinking or doing bartenders. I think that, hell, it could be a selling point. I could do collaborations with bar... That's something, actually. You get access to more unique stuff. That's the thing, that's what I was discussing before, is that the optics are very much that they're a popular kids club, that they're a group of people that only those who know each other get to join. I wasn't aware they even did auditions. That's the whole discourse that's been happening this week in the VTuber community, is the fact that no one believes them. Not a single person. And that's the 3 camps. I don't believe them. I'm not going to apply because this is stupid. I don't believe them, but I'm going to apply because it's still putting my name out there. And I believe them, so I'm going to put my name out of there. They do. Strange. Yeah, it's the second one. And why everyone doesn't believe them this time is the first one, from what I read. They did this sort of thing. And then they just hired someone everyone expected them to hire anyway? That's the problem. That's what happened last time. Yeah, they did this whole audition thing, and heaps of people audition. They put a lot of effort into it, and they spent a lot of time making a perfect little audition thing, and then they just hired someone they expected them to hire anyway, and everyone was like, why did you bother putting the audition through if you weren't going to hire anyone? But then the company, I think, said, well, we did hire one person. They did say, though, that, it was none of the candidates that we had really matched what we were looking for. I think they interviewed some people. But yes, this time it's the same thing, but this time one of the actual talents in it are going, I swear this time we're looking for smaller creators. Put your name into the hat, please. Or you lose. So moving to Twitch ain't that good of an idea. It's pretty rough, yeah. I don't know. Hey, I've always wanted to try Twitch. I don't know about Vtuber though in there. Do they have a deal with Twitch? Do I have to use Twitch, or could I use both? Could I jump between both? I guess you can't be a partnering streamer on both, can you? I wouldn't be against moving to Twitch. I would lose you guys, though, which would be tragic. That would be the only reason I would want to move to Twitch. You guys. I like you guys. I don't think any of... Like, I think most of you guys, especially Tiberian and Andy, wouldn't watch Twitch. I like YouTube. I don't see why they wouldn't let me use YouTube. But, you know, another advantage of VShoujo in particular is I'd be able to I may be able to keep me. I may be able to keep my stage name, which I am very attached to. This stage name has a lot of weight to it. I've used this for many more years. My name is something I love. I want to keep it. I like to keep my name. And my face, frankly. We get a fancy new model. Maybe we can finally get one of them. That's another thing. Access to that sort of stuff. But I would like a bit of support. Another thing that I think a company could give. It's just telling me where I'm going wrong. Where I could improve. Because I always find it so hard to absorb that sort of advice. Like, you know, you can always look up how to do all this stuff for streams. And yes, I can, but one half of it costs money, and I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's tough. Tough. Who knows? Maybe I will. The question still remains, though. What makes me special? What's that I could distill down and put into a 2-minute video to really showcase who I am? Who I could be. Mostly Twitch streamers, except for K-Son. She uses YouTube as Twitch. I forget she's part of VShoujo. I forget. This guy in your chat screaming stuff about the PS2, he's scaring your viewers. Off him now. And I send you. I ban you. You don't get to stay here, J-Hank. You're a risk to the brand, J-Hank. You're a risk to the brand. You like that? Two astronauts shooting each other sort of meme. It was all it was the PS2. Always was. Yes. Who knows? I may as well throw my hat. I think I've got until the 6th of next month to throw in a you know, thing. The first question, though, I did go through all the questions and I answered them. And one of their questions, I was sitting there, I did exactly that, actually. So what... They asked, you know, what would you want from VShoujo? And I started considering, I started writing a lot of things, and a lot of it was, yeah, that sort of stuff. I'd want connections, business. Right. Throw your hat. You can always buy another. It's true. I won't throw the nice hat, though. I'll throw the really shitty hat. And just hope the really shitty hat is somehow charming. Pick it up and go, wow, this is a nice, rustic, charming hat. You go, yeah, I could wear this hat, and then they'll give me an interview. And then I've got them in the back. Maybe. There's probably a way I'd shoot myself in the foot by saying that I like to keep things simple on my streams. And it's true, I like to keep things simple. I had one of those fancy giggly bops or doodahs that allow me to change my voice. I do want to do more of that stuff. But I've never... it's hard to say. I am funny sometimes, but I don't think I've ever framed myself or acted like the funny streamer. No. At least not intentionally. I always take myself relatively seriously, as much as an Australian can. So that's out of the bag. I don't think I'm the funny guy. I think I tried to be at some point, but I realized it's just not me. Funniness happens when I'm funny. I can be witty, but it just has to happen naturally. It's not something I can force. Probably a problem. Maybe I should do some more training, do some theatre sports. Learn how to do the death in a minute game really well. Do some more improv. We do collabs, trying to leech on someone else's audience. True, I did those a few times in the first year and a half that I streamed. It's a lot harder these days because I have a job. But yes, that's always a choice. It's always a choice. Collaborating is difficult. It's so easy in life to collaborate with people. I just think I'm just social media inept, J-Hank. That's what I am. I'd probably have more subscribers if I was better at Twitter. Better at advertising myself. Better at using the internet in general. God, how are you guys so good at it? How do you young people do it? I don't understand. Always struggling so much to figure out stuff when it comes to the internet. How do people just have thoughts and then post them on Twitter? I have thoughts and then talk to myself. Talk to someone else. My thoughts don't stay around long enough for me to put them on Twitter. It's just not a natural urge for me to put things online. I really think it does hurt me because it makes me less connected with people. Definitely a few times where I did say some things back in the day on Twitter, and I did get some attention from some people. But not just Twitter. And you got these people, the first thing I just saw is these big YouTuber posts that are like a picture like, hey, you seem cool, I want to be friends, but I'm too nervous to say anything. Do you want to be friends? And like putting the ball in their court, and it's just engagement farming, and they do really well. Maybe I should do some more engagement farming. Maybe I should just start following a heap. Maybe I should just start following a heap of people. To choose someone you think you have a great chemistry for a collab. Which is harder? It is harder. I feel like that I can always get along with people. It's a thing too. I do that as well. I can always get along with people. Which means I feel like I have generally okay chemistry. But then when I did some larger group collabs, I find I struggle to match the energy of some of these younger people. I've been left behind, I think. I take myself too seriously, perhaps. It's a struggle, isn't it? Like, I never have a problem in life. Well, when you put a screen between me and somebody, I become really difficult. It also doesn't help that it's always those games like Gartic Phone and stuff like that, and I struggle to match the feeling, you know, of games like that. It's tough. It's tough. I feel like I turn into much more of an adult when I'm around people. Weirdly enough. I go around some people, I suddenly turn into a more responsible, straight man sort of character. And I do a funny, wow, zany kind of character. But again, am I a zany character? I don't think. I just don't think I'm zany. And god damn, I can't avoid. Twitter is a weird place. Yeah, I just realized, it makes me feel like I realize how old I am. Makes me realize how old I feel. The old man aura takes over you. It does. And you've got things like, they call it. Got, I'm distracted. What was I saying? Oh yes, my humor just doesn't match people. I think. I'm just old style, I guess. I've never been very good at what could be charitably described as sort of more risque humor. I've made them before. I have made those jokes. They're not my automatic jokes, and I feel like they're quite successful as the sort of risque humor. And that always is something I don't feel very compatible with when I did do those collaborations. Yeah, I'm just not very good at bouncing off that sort of humor without just going, whoa, that's crazy. Sort of like just acting in a very basic straight man sort of way. This is very existential, isn't it? I'm really having an existential conversation here. I'm really quite the existential thought, you know. I keep opening new tabs because I'm... You want to go restructure of character? Like taking time off and think about the Eric persona better? Because I don't think I would do anything else. It's hard to say. It's not that I can't do those jokes. It's that I don't automatically do those. It's... A lot of me is already in this character. It's kind of hard to restructure it to be anything else. Over time, it's become... You know, more just me, you know? The person behind, the person in front. It's... I don't think I'll have much success with that, at least. Unless I really go all out and go acting. Sort of idea. Go to the whole acting route where I actually completely try and embody a different persona. Who knows? I'm satisfied with who I am, which is why I worry about joining a company, especially one like HoloLive. I don't want to lose that. I like me. I like who I am. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose who I am right now. Which is a problem. Which is certainly an issue. Not trying streaming Twitch or YouTube at the same time? As in, can I even do that? Is that possible? Can I? Would my internet be able to handle that? Is probably a better question. Do you just open two OBSs or something? Or have two outputs to this two different streams? How do you stream in two different places at once? How is that possible? How do you do that? Because I know you can't do it once you get over a certain size on either platform. Like, you can't be like a partner on Twitch and stream on YouTube at the same time? Or do you mean like one day I just stream twice as much, but one of the days is on Twitch and the others is on YouTube? What do you think? What are you going for there? I think if I move on Twitch, I'll really have to make more stuff. Yeah, I'd actually have to make donation sounds and donation rewards and that sort of thing. Oh, the fuck we doing? Ourselves. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why it's such a difficult thing to think of what's special about me. Because I'm me. What's special is for others to decide. Which is always what ours has been in job interviews. What's special is always decided when you're in job interviews usually, or auditions, or you're applying for somewhere. What's special is what they're looking for. You're giving them the answer that they're seeking. You're not actually thinking about what makes you special. It's what makes you fit in the box they're looking for, and what makes you exceed their expectations of the box. You're you, and that's something. But it's hard to distill. It's hard to advertise. Just you know? Maybe I should just take this rant, this whole rant, and just throw that at them. Just throw this whole rant. Here, 2 minutes of me just ranting about the metaphysical concept of oneself. There you go. I'll talk about it with some people, especially my nephews are the ones who encouraged me to start this whole streaming thing. They certainly have a lot of things they had to say about what made me special and why I should stream. So, I'll have to talk to them about it. Going full Persona 4, I see. We should play that game. We should play Persona 4. You Naraka. So every time I remember that character from Persona 4 is one. I did watch the anime, it was quite good. I like the Persona 4 anime. Persona 4, the animation, it's quite fun. But the other one was, there was a fighting game they made for Persona 4. Like a 2D fighter. and they all had really funny subtitles, and the announcer would give them really funny nicknames. I think Yu Narakawa, the main character of Persona, especially the anime version. Yeah, I didn't watch Golden though. Persona 4, the animation. Arena, I think. Oh, they had two, Arena and Arena Ultimax, that's right. But they had really funny nicknames. 2D fighter, yeah, characters. Where's the characters? Characters! Yu Narakawa. Does it have his hilarious nickname? Kingpin. He's Kingpin of something. It's really funny. Yeah, there it is. Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel. Stupid, not active love machine. Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel. Spectacular. That's all I remember when I think of Yu Narakawa, is the guy going, Yu Narakawa, Siscon Kingpin of Steel, Yu Narakawa. Because they have two names. They have like a normal name. I think his is just the Kingpin. They have a normal name and a weird name. But yeah, his weird name was Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Yu Narakawa. Chie's was the carnivore who's discarded womanhood. Yosuke is... where is his? Captain Resentment. Which I thought was pretty good. What was Yukiko's again? She was very funny. Oh, she had a very nice one. The Unconquerable Snow Black. But yes, no. Yu Narakawa. Siscon Kingpin of Steel. Yu Narakawa. Very funny. Otherwise, yeah, it all shows the SMT. I did try one of those SMT games, the Shin Megami Tensei games, but I'll admit, I don't know how they much vibe with me, which is a problem, because I kind of do want to play the Persona games, but I don't know how much I actually enjoy them. Considering. And the Persona 1 don't have the treatment of the other Persona games has. Yes, I suppose. The first few are never going to be as popular as the rest of them, and everyone's going to forget they exist. Like the amount of expansions and all. Well, that wasn't really what they did back in the day, you know? Wasn't really the normal action. People didn't normally do that back when those games first came out. So, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. I feel like we would... Yeah, so I probably will apply for... Maybe I'll apply for both of them again. Maybe I'll make up one for Hololive again, just throw my hat in the ring there too, because they just have it open all the time, I think. Maybe I'll apply for both of them again. Yeah, you know what? I've got summer. I've got plenty of time to think about it. I'll tell you if I do. Might do it, though. Might do it, though. I probably will. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, let's pause there for a moment. I have some responsibilities I need to fulfill on the porcelain throne. I'll be back. Short moment. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I am back. What happened? I went to the toilet. That's what happened. That is what happened. Anyway. What to do now. Well, a philosophical discussion about one's sense of self and Twitch streaming. It's true, we had a whole TED talk about it. Good time. No, it is true, my greatest skill is constantly talking. I look at other streams and I realize I talk too much. The drink led you to the throne. Yes, it did. Because the porcelain throne is the toilet, RT. I'm taking a piss. It's hard to explain the joke, but... Today's drink led me to the porcelain throne. I thought spew. No. Last night. That would be last night. I've already drank the bottle of wine. It's done. It's right here. Yeah, did I actually get picked up by the microphone? I don't know if that was getting picked up by the micro. It was just me going, I don't know. I really thought it was just my breath going through. And it's just like, fun times. A deep, beautiful sound of a wine bottle, and this is the light, bright sound of an empty bottle, tiny bottle of brandy. Distant train drives by. Here's my special skill. ASMR. Eric doing bottle whistles. I've always been very good at it. That's like a third bottle full of Coke. You know, for all the fact that I'm very good at doing this for bottles, I've always been awful at the flute. Would you believe? I've never been able to make a sound on a flute. I've always struggled with the mouthpiece of the flute. I don't know why. I've always been easily be able to do it with all these other sort of testing bottles tier list. Yeah. Do I have any other bottles? Oh, no, that'll work. We can try. I have like a tiny bottle of Grande Absinthe from the Frenchman that I met. And it's tiny, and it's almost full. Let's see if we can get a sound. That sounds like a train whistle. I think it might be too high for my microphone to be. It might be getting cut out. I don't know if you guys are picking that up, but that is a great sound. How do people get to pick up that sort of sound? Getting that? It's a bit wispy. That's clear now. It also tastes like licorice because it's an absinthe bottle. And it smells like it. And it smells nice, though. Is that nice? Aniseed smell. And that nice licorice root. That was fun. What about this one? How big is this one? This is 500 mils. No, this is 700 mils. It should be the same sound. Much more vibrant. Check it. So. Alright, that's very deep. Very deep. Well, sorry about that. I'm absolutely blasting your eardrums out with this. I'm having so much fun. We have a good time. We have a good time. What about this ramune bottle? Can we do it with the ramune bottle? Japanese ramune bottle? We can. It's even got a rattle in it. Sorry about that for anyone that heard that. I really should give volume warning, shouldn't I? It's got a nice resonance to it. I quite like that one. I'm running out of bottles within arm's reach of me. That was a worrying amount of bottles within arm's reach of me. Mostly because they were left over from last night. rather than clean them up. There you go. My skill. Oh, that's what I should do. I should do a 2-minute video of me doing a song on bottles. like I'm an elementary school kid, like a primary school kid doing a like a music performance to his teacher. When they asked, "Oh, what skill do you have?" I can play the reed. God, I used to be able to play the reed really well. Little like. You know, you'd be able to get like a leaf, or a reed, or a piece of paper, or that sort of thing. You could really do this great vibrating sound. I used to be really good at it as a kid. Then I got embarrassed one time because somebody said it was stupid, and I got really sad as a kid. I remember that. Wow, what weird memory to reappear. There you go. It was more that I tried to do it in front of somebody that I wanted to impress, and then it didn't work out because I didn't do it as well because I was nervous. And then I never did it again because I was embarrassed by myself. Oh, that's why I cringe when performances. When musical performances go poorly or something goes wrong, I cringe. I always get very sad. It's many reasons. One of them is stuff like that when I screwed up performances myself, and I'm really harsh on myself when I used to screw up performances as a kid. Always very harsh on myself. There you go. Trauma dumping stream. Yeah. That is so small when it comes to trauma. I was a kid who tried to do something to look cool and didn't look cool. That's not trauma. That's normal. That's maybe trauma, but it wasn't caused by anything else. It was caused by my own inadequacies. The winter blues. Or whatever idea I can think of. Yeah, I'll just do 2 minutes of trauma dumping. I'm sure that'll get me hired by a company. Another thing to consider is I kind of like my job now. And there is no guarantee that joining a company and getting all that stuff would lead to me to having more money than I do have right now. That's another problem. It wouldn't lead to me having more money. It could lead to me having less. So that's a whole risk of that too. Anyway, not about that. Enough about that. Enough about that. Oh, excuse me, stretching. Ooh, crap. Okay, it's gone. Ooh. I hate those. Ooh, I did. That was a short grab, though. Thank God. Alright. Alrighty then. What was I gonna do? Maybe we should finally... do that tier list of Elden Ring DLC bosses. Maybe. Probably put spoiler in the title if I'm gonna do that, so I might edit the title and say spoiler. Elden spoilers. Alright. Find spoilers in normal brackets at the front of my screen. Just because if they're actually gonna do this. Alright. So yes, enough about the existentialism. Now time to make myself feel better by doing a tier list. You don't even know any of these bosses, Jay. You pretty much never saw the Elden Ring streams. Anyone here that wants to play the Elden Ring DLC and doesn't want to be spoiled? If so, leave now or forever hold your peace. Jump to this screen. Oh, I forgot about this. You know what? We're just keeping it. I forgot I did this. Oh, well, that was a good night when we did this, didn't we? Why the bloody hell did I do that? Why have I done this? What was the stream again that we did this on? Why was I doing this? And why do I'm keeping it. Keeping it. It'll be funnier this way. It is so much funnier this way. Now where is it? Why is that? Yeah, that's just 3 feet. Yep. God, I did this. I just keep seeing myself with 3 heads. It's hilarious. Man, and sometimes I am funny. Sometimes I am zany and cool. They change it to this background. Change it to the books. Back to the library. My window capture. Window capture. Tier list maker. There we are. Here's our tier list. I didn't make this tier list. I stole it from someone online. But yes. Welcome, everybody. My good friends. Welcome. Friends, families, and my enemies. It's good to see you all this day. Welcome to my official and unequivocally important Elden Ring DLC tough / boss enemy tier list. Technically one of these, a couple of these may not actually have proper health bar things like the furnace golems. Don't know why they don't have giant health bars. Kinda weird. Point is, doesn't matter. Welcome. I'm trying to escape my existentialism and my fear of looking inwards by looking outwards at bosses who annoyed me. So, for those who don't know, last week we completed the Elden Ring DLC. And I had a great time. 9 out of 10. Would do again. And I probably am going to during summer. So I thought, why not? Let's do ourselves a cheeky little Elden Ring tier list. So that I could really start organizing my mind about these sort of things. I haven't done anything cool for the actual tiers. I could have named them something cool. I didn't. They could be. Hey, if you've got a name that I can give each tier, then throw it at me. Right now, we're just gonna start thinking better because I want to look back on the DLC. So since the week, since the week finishing it, I've actually really looking back on it and thought, I think they did the best with this map. I like this map more than I think I like the original Elden Ring map because of its smaller size. Felt like I could do more with it. You know, they had less dungeons, less things. I still missed a hell of a lot, but I think I've got most of the major things, which is good. So, let us start with the Ancient Dragon Man. And the Ancient Dragon Man, that was, oh my god. I remember we got invaded. This is tied with my favorite character, Igor. And the Ancient Dragon Man turned up and led us on quite the side chase. He was one of the first things we did. We got all the way to the end of this quest line. But the Ancient Dragon Man himself, as a boss, is kind of boring. He was just an NPC. Very tough, very strong, but just an NPC. Hilarious name, though. The name just screams. A poor employee at 6 p.m. or, no, it's Japan. At 8 p.m. on a Friday. Just going, I gotta get a name for this man, and I am all out of bizarre Welsh Celtic inspired name. Welsh / Celtic / Irish, Celtic Irish or Scotch Gaelic, Scots Gaelic. I've run out of names. I can't think of anything. Should I call him a normal human name, or should I give him a name like the Ancient Dragons? He is the Ancient Dragon Man. Should he be called Man-Sax or something like that? And they were like, you know what? He is an ancient dragon, but he is also a man. So, in the immortal naming conventions of Golden Age comics, I will name him, what of the hell, noun group, man. So we got Ancient Dragon Man. Which really, I give him about a B tier. He's a fun time. He was a fun time. His bosses wasn't too hard, I didn't feel too frustrated. And he drops a really cool weapon. It also is, he would be a C, because he's like an NPC boss fight. I think there's a lot of NPC boss fights here, like Black Shale Knight, Dancer of Rana, and that Rakshasa guy, who actually might go in D because I hate them. Would probably go into C because they're just NPC fights. Not that crazy. This guy was fun. I felt like I had a cool deal with him, so I'll give him a B. He also gave me my first giant katana, even though I walked past the other giant katana. Alright, speaking of the ancient dragon, now let's go to the ancient dragon, Sessasax. Sensax. I don't know how to say that name. Senesax. Senesax? That sounds better. Senesax. Not great. Just another dragon fight. Just another dragon fight, but now covered in pools of water. So every single one of them, and not just pools of water, weirdly enough, the ground also counts as water for some reason. So I couldn't even stand on the earth and be escaped from... That whole area was counted as electrically conductive, which the ground is. Lightning strikes the ground for a reason, but I don't think it's that electrically conductive. It's not like I'm standing in a goddamn shallow pool with an electric eel. So I'm not very happy with this fella. It's really, really quite annoying, if I remember correctly. So I'm putting him down in D. Annoying, doesn't really give you anything, just impedes you. Just gets in your damn way. And I really think they should program the floor so it's better at detecting if it's lightning or not. Also, his hitboxes were funky. He had way too much health, or she had way too much health. Not a fan. Alright. Bale the Dread. Bale the Dread, eh? Now, I'm glad that these all came in a row, because this guy is a straight up here. Anyway, all the way, ooh, it's hard to say A or S. I'm going to put him S for now. You can change him later. But, I love this guy. And I love his fight. And I love the music. And I really, really love Egon. I'm almost tempted to make his screaming curse you Bale like and if I ever go on Twitch and I have like subscribe notifications and bit donation notifications, one of them is definitely going to be curse you Bale, son of Sale you might be. I will fill with holes your rotten hide. Or riddle with holes your rotten hide. He was great. He was spectacular. Loved that guy. And every time we would die, we would walk back in, summon him, and he'd go, curse you, Bale! And I got to use the giant katana sword, and it was great. Kicked his ass. It was a great time. Love him. Really clever, spectacular design. Spectacularly designed as a boss fight. So good. Curse you, Bale! I hereby vow you will rue the day. Behold, a true great Drake warrior, and I, Egon, your fears made flesh. What a great guy. Great voice actor, too. I did see an interview with him where he was, apparently the voice actor was having a very spectacular time. Great stuff. Great stuff. DLC bosses. Oh. All right. Well, yes. There it's going. You're starting to ready trees bosses. Yes, I am. I've had quite a few things. Sorry, I just posted Twitter. I think I got distracted from my posting on Twitter. But yes, I am. I've already gone through 3. S tier, Bale the Dread. Just because of the NPC you can summon that fight. And also, he's a really cool design. Like he's so injured, but he's so cool and scary, even though he's missing, like, most of his legs, and he's got no wings, and all this stuff. And I love his fire lightning stuff, and a madman next to me screaming, curse you, Bale! Great time. It is spectacular. Love it. Love it to bits. So, that was what we did. Now, this is just a Black Knight. Not much to say about it. I almost died to him. Is it the one I almost died? Yeah, I died to this guy. He's in the fortress. There's nothing else to say. He's just a guy. Same with this one. They're just Black Knights. They're just dudes. They're just normal enemies, given a health bar and a boss music. They're not really that exciting. So, a smack on C. They're good fights. They're good enemies. You drop nice items. This guy gives you the wings. Can't remember what this guy gives you. But yeah. He was released again. He is. He's back. Back in action. Because I keep forgetting that I did this on this particular scene. So whenever I change to this scene, I've just got 3 heads, and I like it so much I don't change it every time. Every time I do it, I forget I did it, and then I do it again, and I think it's hilarious, and I don't change it. But then I forget, and then the next time I see it again, I think it's funny, and I don't change it. It's good times. Having a memory like me. I really should triple my audio input, like make it slightly delayed. Give myself an echo. If I was clever and good at technology, I'd do that. Technically, I could duplicate the audio source and echo it, but I'm not going to do that because that sounds like a nightmare to all of you. But tell me if you want me to do it. Anyway, next, let's jump to the Black Jail Knight. Now he, like the Ancient Dragon Man, that would be a nice listener to do it. Now how do I... So, I can just put another audio input and just make it the same audio input. Nice. Audio input. Capture. I do have a second one. Let's make a third one. Make it Focusrite audio. Okay, so now there's 2. I don't know how this sounds to you. How does it sound? Properties? It won't have any filters on it, so it'll sound different. I haven't put any of my filters on it. Is there a delay? Like if you're a robot? Does it? I've listened to myself. Or listen to myself. Oh, I do sound a bit interesting, don't I? I do sound robotic. It's really, really bad without all the filters on it, isn't it? Can I delay it somehow? Oh, it's overlapping. My stream is overlapping with it. It's really confusing my ears. Is there a way to screw this up even more? The audio filters, I don't think there is anything that allows you to delay. Noise quality. I thought I sworn there was a way in the filters to delay something. Okay, there's the 3-band equalizer. There's the compressor. The expander, the limiter, the noise gate, the upward compressor. Maybe I should give myself a old-timey radio voice, which is just taking out all the middle. Taking all the mid-source noise out and making myself sound like an old-timey robot. Oh, can't think of figure it out. Alright. Never mind, let's keep going. Alright. Black Jail Knight. Another of the good fights. He was the first boss I fought, so hard to say. For another day, I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's some plugin I can get that'll do what I want it to do. So, Black Jail Knight, the first boss we fought, actually, and he does give you his whole set. And his sword. Which I think does put him up to be... He's just an NPC fight like the Ancient Dragon Man, but both of these guys give you good gears. Otherwise, it's fun. You know, I used that sword for a bit. It was good fun. Blood Fiend Chief. Cool area. Hate bleed. Just hate it. Hate these guys in general, actually, so screw you. You're going down with the Ancient Dragon, Senesex. So, delete that row. We only have a S to F. S to F. We don't need an E. This is not... We're doing the American style. Actually, I should make E, F, E. But yes, these Chief Beef Blood Fiend is just a giant version of the Blood Fiends, and I don't like them, and I remember being... I beat him after, like... I beat him in one try, but I just don't like fighting these guys. They're not fun. I don't find them fun at all. So, take that. The manga is great, by the way. Yeah, I have the Elden Ring manga. Yes, I've been reading that one. It's spectacular. I've really enjoyed the Elden Ring manga. It is very funny. Very good. Now, this is Commander Gaius. He was a rough time. He was a rough time. I remember I was tired. I was having a tough time. I spent the whole time from the horse throwing a spear at him, which was pretty fun. I was trying to do a very specific build. But God, his hitboxes are something else. They are something special, and that's not a good thing. Interesting concept. Very Zelda, actually. It was almost like being in Twilight Princess. All of the things. I love how Malaya is about to stick those healing bottles in the empty. Yeah, like she's using cupping. She's like getting the bad humors out of his skin. Extracting the bad the venoms from his butt cheeks. Using the cupping method. Oh, that's an awful thing, by the way. That's so gross. I don't like that, seeing people doing the cupping stuff. Where they put like these cups, and then they light a match or something and it creates a vacuum. Yeah, Melina. Melly or whatever he calls her. Very great manga. Good manga. Would recommend. Elden Ring, Road to the Erdtree. Really funny. Really funny. They've just recently done the Radahn Festival. It's quite good. Now, Commander Gaius. He was a good boss. His moves were dodgeable eventually, but his hitboxes were just egregious. So I'm going to throw him into the sea. But I'm sure he'll be better if I play him again. I enjoyed it in the end, though, and I should have just waited for the next time to actually beat Gaius. I should have waited till the next stream. I was too tired. Count Ymir is gross. Don't like him. I thought foot fetishists were bad, but this guy... Yeah. Just on principle. I feel like I have to put him in F just out of self-respect. I thought finger for people who were into feet were bad. This guy is into hands, and he's into hands in like that really weird way. Like people who are into feet are into the really, really, really into feet people that are all like it absorbs every other fetish they have, and becomes one terrifying amalgamation. But it's like core is feet. It's like that, except it's a guy with hands and pregnancy. It's a whole thing. In the end, he gets a giant coat covered in fingers and gives birth to 8-fingered hands. And that's just not cool. I just don't like that. Cursebraid Labyrinth. Don't remember him. Just put him down with D because it probably means he was a normal enemy that I don't like fighting. The Dancer of Ranah. Should I put guys at the top? Those. There's Ranah, I think there's another C. Just an NPC fight. Gives a cool armor set. Gives a cool sword. Nothing really much to say. She had a cool fire move. Another unique, like the Black Jail, the Ancient Dragon Man. Just a nice, unique fight. For an NPC fight, but they also suffered the NPC problems of being either auto-dodging or acting really weird. Alright. The Death Knights. Rather embarrassingly, both characters I was very much unable to beat on my own, and oh my god, I hate the goddamn healing move. Why did they give these Death Knights, like, bloody force healing, where they just teleport across the room, grab you, and heal almost all of their health with a single attack? Like, With Melania, it's understandable. The amount she heals is bit by bit by bit, so it's when you make lots of series of mistakes that you get screwed, because she heals up. But this guy, you just need to miss one dodge and he's got his health back. It's some utter shite, I tell you. I really don't like these guys. Great fight otherwise. I do like the teleporting. They look spectacular. Another great bit of design here. All of the bosses, great design, great design. Not hating the design, hating what they did. This guy was bad, and his friend wasn't too bad, but I just can't. That healing move was just so mean. It was so much healing. It was like half of their health bar. And they have a lot of health. It's something, actually, let's pause for a moment. I think I really screwed myself by doing it in such a late new game cycle. Playing the DLC, because I was watching other people. And they were having so much of an easier time. And I realized it's because in, like, the second playthrough, yeah, it's not that big, but I feel like most of in the DLC especially, I felt the resistances to status effects and the defenses of their health didn't increase too much, but their defenses and their status of resistances were mad in their second playthrough. It feels. People were doing very consistent things, like they were bleeding consistently or poisoning consistently. It was taking ages for me to do that sort of stuff, so I think that was another case where they had a lot of health, and they heal a percentage of health with the grab attack, so I was just struggling because I had low damage. Point is, didn't like them that much. They kicked my ass too much, and they weren't very fun because they just kept healing. Good design, spectacular design, love the armor, love the weapons. Deathrite Bird is a Deathrite Bird. He sucked. I remember dying so many times to him because he instantly kill us all the time and knock me off my horse all the time. Don't like it. Deathrite Bird buff. And burn a little hell. Demi-Human Queen Margot. Again, I really just don't like her. She did give a cool weapon, actually. I'll put her up to C. Middle of the road. She at least gave you a cool sword. At the end of it. So, she's just above D. I think because Bloodfiend Chief is just more boring than these two, so I might put these guys at the top of D. Alright, Demi-Human Swordmaster Ons. I think he's a good A-boss fight. I think I liked him a lot. He was good fun. I was using the counter playstyle at this point, so he'd kind of unfair for him, but I do like the little mad Yoda we got. It felt really cool and felt really dynamic and fun and kind of gave the Demi-Humans more of a... As characters, it gave them more coolness. They kind of had this Swordmaster idea and these... And I liked that. I liked them trying to make the Demi-Humans feel more... feel more like a society of creatures that weren't just stupid. They had their own beliefs, their own skills, their own, martial arts systems. And he's Yoda. He's pretty much tiny, murderous Yoda with a katana. It's a great time. Now, another boss that I never really felt like I played properly, and I think a lot of the times I'm suffering from these bosses because I realized I just wasn't as good as I used to be. I'm just not as skilled as I used to be. I wasn't able to dodge as well as I used to be. I was able to learn as easily as I used to, It's one of these moments, these bosses are really making me feel old. So, I love the design. Divine Beast design. 10 out of 10. The fight, from what I've seen other people do, is actually quite easy. I don't know why I struggled with it so much. But personally, I'm putting him an A. He's a good A fight. He'd even be an S. Maybe he's definitely higher than Never Savage Oars. Oars is lower than the Dance Beast, because that is spectacular. It definitely could be S, but I'll leave him a high A for now. Pulling out the Beast buff, he's going down with the other boss bosses. I'm not even considering them because they are just the same boss. Full items, don't like them. Too hard-hitting. Alright. Yeah. The Divine Beast was such a good fight. Such a good design. I'm really excited to try it again in the summer break when I, play it with a different character. It'll be nice to try again. I remember I used to be able to do for bosses without summoning, but I'm too tired these days. Don't have enough time. Anyway. Furnace Golem. Let's go. You're going into high F because, oh my god, it takes a fucking long time to beat these things. I should call this rank F fucking snooze fest or fucking disgusting. Because Christ, these furnace goblins were a pain in my goddamn ass. What a pain in my ass they were. Hate it. I wonder if somebody could... I wish somebody had figured out what actually causes them to stagger. Is it more attacks or is it less attacks? Is it based on poise damage or is it based on the number of attacks? I don't know. Can't tell. It just took... I would turn to dust. I was going to die of old age before I beat these goddamn furnace golems. But they look cool and they also don't give birth to hands. So... they do look cool, and they're not hand fetishists or just the same thing from the main game, except worse, because they've buffed it so much it's really hard. So, we're going to stick Furnace Golem at the top of F. They were a frustrating time, but they weren't too bad. Now, we've got two Ghost Flame Dragons, version 1 and version 2. Can't remember the difference at all between them. Don't remember at all the difference between them. However, the Ghost Flame Dragon that was surrounded by all the enemies. That dragon was a pain in the arse. Because those goddamn enemies kept attacking me and I wasn't very happy about that. Why, Miyazaki, did you not program your damn enemies to focus on the more important target? They were fighting the dragon before I got there. I don't know why I take priority. Why is everyone killing me because I walked too close to them? Why do they always auto-aggro on me? What it is, I'm going to put these at the bottom of D tier because they're just more dragons. Cool dragons, just more dragons. And one of them really sucked, and I don't know which one it was, so they're both going to suffer because I can't remember which one sucked. The enemies attacked me, and I wasn't very happy. No, the enemies attacked me when they were already fighting a giant fuck-off necromancer dragon. Why are they attacking me? They clearly started this fight with the dragon, not with me. I'm just trying to ride past. I'm trying to help them most of the time. I'm killing the dragon. They clearly wanted to kill the dragon, but no, no, no. It's always going to be me they've got to attack. I feel like they should have changed the AI a bit. Anyway. Or given the dragon, maybe given the dragon some sort of effect that increases its aggro. I'm sure they could do that. So that at least it felt like they were more focused on the dragon than instantly. They literally would instantly focus on me if I stepped within a certain distance of the enemies. They would just spin around and go straight for me. And then get immediately squished by a dragon. Because the dragon attacks everyone. They didn't ask for help. I don't care if they didn't ask for help. Then they shouldn't attack me. They should just leave me alone if I ride past. Why are those, like, the three archers, the three great bow archers, shooting me off my horse when I go within 2 square miles of the goddamn fight zone? Christ. Anyway, Golden Hippo. That was a tough boss. It had some wonky hitboxes. If I remember correctly, I beat this guy with the daggers. Or the spear? One of the two. Daggers or the spear. And I ended up having to summon for this one because I summoned for every boss fight that had a summon. So yes, I summoned the fellow for this boss fight. This guy was tough. He was a rough one, this Golden Hippo. Apparently his hitboxes have been changed, so apparently his hitboxes are actually funky, which is nice to know. He had, well, his grab attacks and stuff were very, very big when they shouldn't have been as big. Otherwise, he's cool design. I really like the Golden Hippo designs. I'm actually going to throw him in B tier because I like his design, the Hedgehog Hippo, and other than a few wonky hitboxes, I quite liked him, actually. He really did feel a bit small sometimes, though. Dragon Pig Drake. He's just a Drake, so he's gonna go with the other ones. Nothing really much to say, except that's where you get Egon laughing and going, "A true Drake warrior you are! Take me to the top of the mountain so I can fight Bale!" Alright. Lamenter. Yeah, so that's Dragon Pig Drake. He's just a Drake. Yeah. Neither here nor there, really. Lamenter. Now that... this is a really interesting boss fight. he kind of introduced the idea of instant kill attacks. I don't know the mechanics. I did not understand the mechanics, but they were like casting spells. So you would attack him for a certain while, and one, design, great. 2, he would cast a spell where he'd multiply, and then the clones you didn't kill would cast a spell and disappear, and cause these weird heads to float around you. I think you could get up to 8 of them. And the heads would, like, mind break you, like, destroy your brain or something like that, and make you start just... They kill you with depression. They kill you with weaponized depression. The Lamenter, much to his namesake, kills you with weaponized depression. And that's just great. I loved that. It was like a real fight against the clock. Weird fight where you're like, okay, I'm focusing on the clones not because it makes it easier for the fight, but because focusing on the clones is the right thing to do. Using big AoE moves, using big weirds. It allowed me to use some cool AoE moves quite well. That I quite enjoyed, that I was able to use because of that. I was able to go and use some cool stuff. So really, I really liked the Lamenter. And you get the Lamenter's mask and you turn into a Lamenter, which I thought was quite amusing. Like a weird, rotten, goat-headed man. Great stuff. Great stuff. So I'm tempted to put him in a S tier, but I know a lot of people hated him. I just loved him so much. I love this unique stuff. More unique. It felt more unique than the Dragon Man because of the spells, so I'm gonna give that. Legendary player, straight to the top, next to old Veiled of Dread. Just a classic From Software boss. Love it. First phase, second phase. I did it with a summon, of course, because I was trying to finish that guy's quest, but I really felt like I was doing... it felt like a good fight. It felt like a good, solid fight. I enjoyed it. I was happy with it. It was just a good thing. The phase transition. I really love the effect of the eye. When he pulls out his eye and you see, like, the snake writhing in the base of the back of the eye, like the light's just hitting in that big orb. He can cut his eye out in this big circle there's now. He looks like a horror character from a haunted game RPG, but the whole, like, you could see the eye with, like, in the darkness, these snakes writhing. I love that. And the whole rotten snake thing, it was tough. It was tough. But I felt, except for that one spear move where he did the multi-stab, which I never figured out how to dodge. I felt like most of his moves were quite dodgeable. I really learned how to fight him. So, yeah, good. He was a good fight. Great design. Fun guy. Cool second phase. Scary fellow. Loved it. I can't remember which stream we fought him in. Just gonna see. I'm trying to find the old stream I fought him in. Was it one of the 7-hour streams that we fought him? I don't think it was. Should check something. Just look at the streams. When did I fight Mesmer? Oh, that was the Putrescent Knight. Okay, we'll get to that guy. But yes, I really liked Mesmer. I'm just going to remind myself exactly what I used to fight him. Oh, I fought him in this stream. Interesting. Oh yes, the backhand blades. I remember this was one of the things where the backhand blades did so much damage, and I loved them. Backhand blades, absolutely loved them. I remember being a bit frustrated, but I enjoyed this fight. It was a good dodge fight. I think it would be even better if you used a shield, but yeah. So I just had to remind myself. Yeah, Mesmer the Player. I really enjoyed that one. Now, Meta, Mother of Fingers. I was using the claws for this fight, if I remember correctly. I actually would put her up in the A tier. I hated the fight for a while, and there was only one move, and I feel like that's a lot of the bosses. That one move that I struggled with. But Meta, Mother of Fingers, fun fight. Up near the dancing line, I'd say. They're probably about equal to me. There was that one bullshit move with the giant laser death beam, but I found the way to dodge it was to get close and kind of sit between them. How to defeat Fingers? With claws. I did. I fought her with the Shadow Claws, and the shotgun Ash of War was so powerful. Apparently you can get that Ash of War and put it on the actually other throwing daggers, the Smith script throwing daggers. Didn't know that was a thing you could do. Missed that Ash of War that you could get on the Smith script daggers. Very cool. I kind of want to do more Smith script stuff. It's so funny. I want to use that hammer more. But yeah, Meta, Mother of Fingers. Great design, great boss fight. Really hate it. She does also give birth to weird hands, but she also isn't a humanoid, so I can let her give... She's gross as hell! But that works for her, whereas Ymir, I hate him. He's gross. He's creepy and weird. Yes, I have a double standard. If it's a weird, psychotic count called Ymir, birthing fingers out of his chest, it is weird. But if it's a giant, horrifying finger monster, that's fine. Full boss fight. A little bullshit, though. A lot of bullshit in this, but the design and the atmosphere put it back over. It was so weird, so creepy, such a horror villain, like something out of the Evil Within or something. It's great. Major Lord of Frenzy Fade, he also goes up with the Lament. I love him. You fool! And I have suffered enough. I'm sorry, my wife. Please forgive me. And then he turns into just this horrifying creature, Midra, Lord of Frenzy Flame. And really, by extension, his whole area. Very cool. Very cool. The Mendra Manse. Oh, the horrifying woods. Delicious. Spectacular. Oozing with atmosphere. I love it. Loved it. Absolutely oozing with atmosphere. I absolutely loved it. So, and the fact that the whole time he's telling you to go away and he's screaming, and you fool! And all that sort of thing. Spectacular stuff, really. I really loved it. Though I think I could have given myself an hour or two more, I think I could have easily beaten this guy by myself. But it was pretty fun to use the Mimic Tier. I did find it fun to use the Mimic Tier, so I'm not too upset about that. I do feel like I did let down the guy who watched that day, Red RH. I feel like I let him down. He was really believing in me, and then I ended up using the Mimic Tier, but it's fine. It was good times. I was trying to do a stupid build, too. I was the Dragon Man with the poison hands, if I remember correctly. Dragon Man with the poison hands. I really was frustrated. I think I was just tired. It was the end of a 7-hour stream. I should have probably left it for the second stream and otherwise things, but design-wise, spectacular. Fight-wise, he was slow, methodical, very easy to learn. If they got rid of that little extra fight at the start where you have to go stab him, is go have beat up the old man again? The depths of your foolishness. As long as if they got rid of that part, then I'd be happy. I would be happy. They just got rid of that little part at the beginning because at least in New Game Plus when I was playing, and this may be another New Game Plus thing, he was capable of doing so much goddamn damage. It was unfair, it was mean, it was painful. Oh god, I really struggled with a lot of these bosses because of the amount of damage they did in New Game Plus, I think. Because New Game Plus or whatever I was on. I think I struggled a lot more than I would have had it been a new game. Because the boss's resistances were higher and the boss's defenses were higher and they just had way more health and did way more damage. But maybe it was just me. Maybe I was just at a bad point. But I do feel like I have to go back and try Midra. Mano a mano. I think I can do it. Also, I was choosing a bad build, but yes. So yeah, point is, even though I didn't have that much of a fun time with him sometimes, I thought it was always my fault. I definitely went, yeah, this was my fault that I had this problem. I was the issue here. Alright. Putrescent Knight. Ooh. Another one like Midra. I think I'll put him lower though. He doesn't feel as high. cool design, but nah, the fire in the second phase was always so difficult to dodge. You couldn't jump over it, even though it was quite low. You could only dodge through it, and it felt inconsistent and wrong, and otherwise, though, good fight. As good as Midra, mostly because I just love the aesthetic. Midra's just such a... He's truly the culmination of the area. He really brings the heat. But this guy's just this random dude who runs out with a rotten horse, being a bloody... This weird... What do they call them? That weird spirit with the horseman on top of it. I said spirit, not sport. Not the Doulahan. The Nuclavy, I think it is. The one I'm thinking of. The Nuclavy. It is a very cool thing that they've pulled out a Nuclavy. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, the Nuclavy. I think it's Nuclavy. What is it? Nuclavy. Nuclavy. Yeah, about that. I did love the Putrescent Knight for the very fact he was like a Nuclavy. And that's just fun. I love Celtic spirit stuff. And he was quite easy to learn the patterns of. Other than that annoying fire move, he was quite easy to learn the patterns of, and once I got it kind of set down, it was kind of fun to beat him up with the fire, so we killed him with the fire pots. That was quite good. Him and the Scattered Tree Avatar we did. Though I fear he was another one of those bosses. So many of these bosses I felt like they had way more... When I'm watching other people play the game, they were doing so much more damage than I was doing. Alright, we're actually going to leave Consort of Radahn till last. Not going to do that yet. But he's going to be last. He's gonna be last. We're gonna handle that at the very end. I don't want to do Radahn console over quickly yet. Okay, Rayla, Great Red Bear. Killed him with a spear. Just a bear boss. It was fun to go like hunting with a magical spear. Neither here nor there with it, so I'll put him middle of the pack. Comparatively everything. Oh no, he's higher than that. Commander Gaius I killed the same way, so it makes sense that they're together. I don't enjoy Commander... I really feel like Commander Gaius should be hurt. He should be up in B tier. I shouldn't be giving it to him. He's in B tier. My D tier is very big. Red Bear, NPC fight. He can go sit next to the Dancer of Renar. Another one covered in B. I may as well throw Raksha in there too. All those three could be together. These two were particularly annoying because of their damn bleed build-up. And also Raksha having it ultra poise because of the special effect of the weapon was some absolute gobbledygook, I tell you. I think she's better than them. Might be better than Grand Names, actually. I like the equipment better. Alright. Either those two are about the same. Great armors, great weapons. Love it. Not against that. Love the stuff. Just a meh fight. They come with the annoyances of PvP without actually being a PvPer. You know, I'm gonna give the Great Red Bear the same thing. Rugalea. I speared her to death, I think. I think I did. Can't remember when I fought her. But I did fight her because I got a spell. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear. Bless you. Thank you. Alright. Relana, the Twin Moon Knight. Great design, great fun. Throw up with those guys. I think she's actually the hardest of those. Great dude in armor boss fight. Spectacular person in armor. I did not struggle with this person at all because I had made a shield counter build. And that apparently is an extremely powerful build and countered her completely. She never had a chance. And only took me a few times to beat her, if I remember correctly. I did not really struggle that much. She had some seriously long combos, but nothing my giant concrete wall of a shield couldn't handle. So take that, Twin Runner. So really I'm only basing her on her. design. I really wish she had more speaking roles, maybe. But her armor, her weapons, her vibes, love it. Spectacular. It's great style, really. Great style. And watching back on my stuff, I think I did well with it. I think I did well. Romania, Saint of the Bird. She felt like a Sekiro boss in a weird way. She felt like a weird Sekiro or Dark Souls 3 boss. She didn't really feel like she fit the sort of strength and speed of this game. I did summon somebody for her. That's right, I summoned the fellow for that, didn't I? And I used fire, because I was using magic at the time. I was using fire and that sort of thing. Yeah. B tier, up at the Putrescent Knight. I think they're about the same. Oh yeah, I should probably get Tree Sentinel 2 buffed. They get to go down there too. Just a Tree Sentinel, just a repeat. They don't get to keep it marked. Alright, we're in 6 minutes to go and 3 people to go. Skidoo Tree Avatar, love it, 10 out of 10. Love this guy. Really hated him, fighting him. Oh my god, I hated fighting him. But he was fun. Again, it was one of those things that made me feel inadequate. I was always missing things when I was fighting. I was whiffing, constantly fighting this goddamn Skidoo Tree Avatar. Love the design though. I cannot go past that. That's just such a nice design for a boss. And the whole dying 3 times was fun. I do like how I essentially burned him to death with perfume. I killed the flower by using too much Axe body spray. I killed this giant Skidoo Tree Avatar with Axe body spray. He skidoodly scattles all the way down from down. And I didn't even do it the bullshit way. Apparently, I did use the bullshit Asher 4, but I only used it the normal way. Apparently, if you aimed it straight at the ground, it would do like 10,000 damage. Yeah. Now, another person I have a personal gripe with. Yordi Elder Inquisitor. Now, I loved the fact that we got all the way down to the bottom of the catacombs, and we thought, oh, this is just going to be a normal Catacombs boss fight, like the other Catacombs boss fight, maybe a Death Knight or something. Oh, it'll be normal. And it wasn't. We stepped through the boss door, and suddenly, we're in those awful haunted woods. And that was such a cool reveal. Stepped out, wah! Kuni! Doko desu ka? Where have I gone? Where are we? That was great. I loved that. Spectacular reveal. Awful fight. Hate this guy. I hope he dies in a fire. You could never attack him. He was just constant. There was no downtime between his moves. He was constantly summoning his little boys and constantly summoning beams of light and knocking you in your ass and setting stuff on fire and summoning a giant obese man to crush you beneath his large rotund form. He was bloody sending the goddamn Teletubbies at me. He's attacking me with a bloody evil version of a Dragon Quest slime. With instead of having the little like quiff on the head, little quiff thing on the head, like the little slimes have, it's instead just put a human face, like torso there instead of a little woof top of the dragon. On the top of the Dragon Quest slime. It's just a human body. That's what the fellow looked like. Hate it. I'm personally offended by your existence. Where did I put other thoughts that are like? Yeah, down with the Dragon Knights. Don't like those guys, but they're not like irredeemable. They definitely could just slow his... Just give him some cooldown, I think. If they just put a little more cooldown between his moves. That's a complaint I have for the next fight, actually. If they just put half a second more time, you'd probably do a lot better in this fight with Yordi. Do a lot better in this fight. Now, the final boss, Radahn, consort of Miquella. Now, I think, from looking at other people, yeah, he's got an absurd health pool. This guy has got more... He bloody... Prime Radahn. I was going to open something and I didn't realise I was going to... By the way, what's that? There's the ADHD brain for you. I didn't even remember that I just opened a tab and then closed it until I saw me open a tab and close it on screen. I have some strange things. Fiddly hands. Idle hands. Like devil's work greater or something like that, whatever it is. Idle hands are the tools of the devil or whatever it is. Anyway, Radahn, Consort of Miquella. Now, lore-wise, I'm okay with it. Some people are like, oh, it should have been X, or it should have been Y, or it should have been Z. Fair enough. Should have been. I really feel like they should have indicated this relationship a bit more in the main game. But, I think it was alright. I think it was an okay choice. What I was not okay with is, oh my god, the length of some of his combos. And I struggled so much with this fight. Struggled. I really wanted to summon, but if you got to summon, his health was just so much. He had so much health if you summoned. It was absurd. The summon's AI was just broken. One of them would not move at all unless the boss hit him through the fog gate. Then he would enter the fog. That's just bad design, so point docked for that. Point docked for the fact that the other AI in the other fellow that actually worked also had a really passive AI for some reason. It was just not, he was fine at the start, but then I was screwed. And I had to change to a very weird build. But I was determined to at least determined to kill him with magic casting. But I knew it was going to be hard. So that's another droplet. The AI was just screwed more than any other fight we've had. The AI has been pretty good in previous fights. His damage, absurd. Again, New Game Plus. That was my fault. His combos, crazy. I could never learn how to dodge them. And again, that's a skill thing for me. And finally, the third phase, I had no idea what I was doing. I have no idea how the second phase, I have no idea how I survived. The thing is, what felt like stuff that did light damage and then stuff that didn't do light damage felt inconsistent sometimes. So sometimes my Lord's Protection would completely nullify all the damage that he gave to me. But then, of course, I would get hit by an attack that suddenly did half of my health or 2/3 of my... He did so much damage. So much damage. I was wearing pretty heavy armor too. I never learned how to dodge him. His design was cool-ish. I did like the sort of return of the insta-kill move if you got hugged twice. That was pretty funny to get hit by and go, God damn it. Though eventually, me and myself and I managed to get him down. Good me, myself, and I, the only one I can trust, not those damn NPCs. Me, myself, and I could always trust to be effective. Though I did learn a few things afterwards, I just never learned to dodge his combos. And I'm watching people's videos and they're dodging with such ease, and I think I struggled in the wrong part of the fight. God, it was tough. I literally just took most of the hits. But I did get learning the first phase pretty well. The second phase, though, was, with something else. Anyway. I figured it out, so I'm going to throw him in low B tier. Would he be better than Putrescent Knight? You know, actually for that, I might put the Putrescent Knight slightly higher than Radahn. He was at least not as boring. They kind of were together. Actually, they were about together. They both weren't boring boss fights, but I felt Radahn was just so painful. It felt like pulling teeth as a boss fight. Ah, whatever. What can we do? So, that's that. That is that. All in all, great DLC. I feel like D in this case is more... They were either really annoying or really boring. Those sort of fights. And really annoying. The Death Knights looked so cool, but I could not forgive the fact that they have a move that heals them for half their health. It's not even that it takes that much health off me, it's just that they could just grab me, and I just have to miss one dodge. I pull that pretty quick. And it would heal half their health. That was frustrating. That was frustrating. Tennis axe, same thing. I don't know what was wrong with that. I've never usually had so much trouble with ancient dragons, but she was such a pain in my ass. And Yordi was also a pain. These mostly annoying bosses, and these are bosses that they don't get choice, or they're creepy, and I just, you know, I genuinely have a moral conviction to put him down this far because it's just creepy. We don't like finger fetishists in this house. Count Ymir as one of them. Also, he tries to kill me. Kind of mean. I didn't do anything to him. He hated the mother of fingers. I did him a favor. Don't know why he's trying to kill me. Anyway. That's that. Maybe I should do a tier list for that next time for another thing. Anyway. So. There's our tier list for the day. And we've reached 12 o'clock almost exactly. Great time. So all in all, the DLC was a good time. And I really did enjoy having a great time with it. It's just, they did a spectacular job, and I'm pretty excited to maybe play through with my nephews for another try. I might play with my nephews for another try. I also should change my background music one of these days. Yes. Let's jump to the other screen, shall we? Ha. I'm going to change my media source. I'm going to change it to a delicious. I'm going to change it from a Japanese-inspired sauce to a delicious bolognese sauce. Yeah, I'm going to change it for the video. Back to the classic. Nostalgic. Old Sunday afternoon. Background music. I should make these all like a long loop. Been a while. Good old Sunday afternoon, which is the name of this background music. Made by one of my nephews, actually. All of the music I play, and that's my background music, was made original for these streams. This is one of them. This is the classic. We used to have that all the time. They also had this one. Can't quite remember what this one sounds like. Oh, this one that has some singing in it. And you ever released the song you made? I keep forgetting. Forgot about this one. Just a nice chill. Jingle for my scroll. This one's called. I made all these names. These names are all from me. And you've got the live piano version of Hearts Road. You play that in the background. This is the one you were talking about, the song that we made. Where I go, yeah, this was one. Where you go, I can't follow. That's because I don't. Love is a vice that too long along my life. Never stopped to call, but I haven't had the time. But then the earth is still. I will wait no more. So take that nonsense somewhere else. I won't walk your walk. Where you go, you can join me. And this road shape the way. It's a good time. Slow to start, but now I join. On the road my heart paid. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump back to screen. Good times, though. Oh, what a good song. It's good times. I really should play it. Maybe I could bring... Maybe I should just sing that song for... I'll just make the 2 minutes that song. Well, that should be what I didn't do it. It was more of a collaboration between... Really, I was more of a producer. I was not really the producer of the music. I was more collaborator on the music. I can't really claim that as my own work. Don't have the old emotes they had that time. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, no. Good time with Elden Ring. I don't know what game we're going to play next. Maybe we'll finally get around to the Boomer Shooter stream. Maybe. Oh, promises though. No flames or clapping. What a shame. But yes, but next week, we won't be able to stream again this weekend, but next week I'll have a lot more time because I'll be on holidays. And other than a few things that I have to do during the time, like some training days and a health day, and I think I have to go to, I got a random unexplained letter about doing some immigration stuff that I might need to do at some point, but they haven't told me when. They just gave me a letter that tells me I have to do it. Which is bizarre. I work for this company, I sometimes wonder. What games come out in the next few months? Who knows? Game releases 2024. I don't really think there's anything in July that I'm too excited about. Wikipedia! Not Wikipedia, let's go to GameSpot. Sure. July... Here we go. Zenless Zone Zero. Play ourselves another Hoyoverse gacha game. Never played one of those on stream. Darkest Dungeon 2 on the PS5, PS4, and Switch. Click holding, which sounds weird. Don't want to know what that is. Oh, there's the Kinitsugami, Path of the Goddess. I like the look of that one. That comes out the 19th, but that's what I liked, so I might not play that on stream. I really like the look of the Kinitsugami. I just love the vibes. The sort of weird tower defense action game. Very artsy, very beautiful, I found. Very artsy and beautiful. That one comes out on the 19th, so about a week from now. But I am a sucker for old-style, weird, avant-garde art style Japanese mythology stuff. I think it's got a weird art style, and it's about mythology and spirits and stuff. I am a real sucker for it. It's things like Mononoke, the anime. By the way, Mononoke the anime, great anime. I suggest everyone watch it. It's so weird, but very good. So yeah, Mononoke kind of gives me that weird vibe where everyone looks bizarre and everything looks hyper stylized and full of confetti and weird shapes and colors, and it's great. It looks good. I want to play it. So that's one. Kinitsugami, Path of the Goddess. Earth's Defense Force 6, apparently. Didn't realize there was a 6th one. The Potion Seller Mononoke? Yes, the Potion Seller Mononoke. Not Princess Mononoke. The Potion Seller Mononoke. Even the original short story he turns up in, the Samurai Tales, or whatever it's called, is like a horror series, like an anthology series, where he turns up for the first time. And he was so popular they made a whole anime about him. It's such a well-produced anime. I love it. It's so artistic and weird. And God, I've watched it like 4 times and I still love it. I'm gonna watch it again probably next year when the new movie, because there's a movie, they made a movie for it recently that's just come out in Japan, but I should check if I can catch it actually. It should be out while Summer Holidays is out. I should go to the theater. I should go catch it in the theater. Because I love it, the Potion Seller Mononoke, yeah. Kusuri. Kusuri Bito. Literally medicine seller. Yeah, good old medicine seller. The 2024 film, yes. Yeah, Custody. Have you seen the Look Back movie? No, but I have heard I've heard about it. Look Back. I don't know what it's about or what it's doing, but I've heard about it. Yeah, Kusuriuri. Sorry, I was trying to find the Japanese name. They used a weird version of it. Medicine Center. Kusuriuri. Kusuriuri. I remember it wasn't Kusurisha or Kusurishi. Or any of the other Kusurishu. It's Kusuriuri. There's the one shot from the guy of Chainsaw Man. I thought he was somehow related. Look Back. I didn't hear about it. Maybe I'll see if I can pick it up. But I didn't have a whole problem if it couldn't be released in North America in the cinemas because it wasn't long enough. Basically a love letter to manga. I see. A lot of people said it was good, but it wouldn't be able to be released as a movie in America due to its length being too short. Oh, we're only like a month and a week away from Black Myth Wukong coming out on the 20th of August. I have the one shot. It's great. I'm glad. I'll have to give it a look. That's another thing. Black Myth Wukong, the game I do not believe exists. I just straight up don't believe it exists. I don't think it's real. Until I am playing the game, I will not believe it's real. In fact, if I do stream it, that is not the name of the stream it's going to be. It's going to be Black Myth Wukong. I don't believe this is real. I'm gonna turn on, the description's gonna say, I believe I'm gonna turn this game on, I'm gonna launch it on Steam or wherever the hell it is, and it's just gonna go, haha, got you, I have your money now, and disappear. When you doubt its existence, it's always given me the feeling of trailer for game that's more of a technical marvel that some small guy made to throw into his... Okay, he made a little small tech demo that looks really good, and he put it into his portfolio, and it just doesn't feel like it could actually believe. It's just always given me the feel of tech demo that never actually gets made into a real game. Sort of feeling, you know? Oh dear, my throat's not doing well today. That's why. I can't believe this is real. Because it just didn't feel right, and maybe I just don't trust developers anymore. Because it was an indie guy, right? It was just one dude who made that tech demo. And then it got picked up by Tencent, Chinese company. And I just can't... I don't know, I just don't trust big developers, especially when they're picking up smaller IPs. Don't believe it. Don't believe it's gonna... And maybe it's just me trying to hold back. I don't want to have any expectations. So that when it comes along and it is one, real, I'm already impressed. If it is real, I will already have a positive influence. It'll already be positive to me. But I don't know, it seemed too ambitious. Too ambitious for a first sort of major development. This indie guy, I don't know. I don't know how much I trust them. Point is, I don't believe it's real. And we're going to stick with that. That's in the next 2 months. That's the only few things in the next 2 months. Love the controversy. It had a controversy? I didn't know. Was it because it got bought by Tencent? Is that why it had a controversy? Is that why... I don't know the controversy. You're gonna have to inform me. I don't know what the controversy was. Unfortunately. I'll just look it up. I'll look it up. Black Myth Wukong controversy. Oh, they were involved in that, were they? I have heard of this thing called Sweet Baby Inc. Yes, I do remember. That's that localization team that were very direct about the fact that they were putting all of their personal politics into the localization. Like, they were changing things specifically to match what they believe the world should be, sort of thing. That was the general gist, right? They were very blatantly mistranslating things, essentially. It's the most disingenuous way we could put it. They would be mistranslating things to match what they believed should be. Extort the developer like 5 million to tell us to fuck off. Anyway, it wasn't happy that they wanted to cancel the game, but nobody gave a shit. Yeah. Seems there's some sort of sexism thing that happened too. Anyway. Alright. Anyway, I think we'll finish that before we get too much into it. I think we will finish there. I'm getting a bit hungry, and my voice is not handling it today very well. My voice feels a bit sore. So, might finish there. I think I was a bit loud today, that's why. Anyway, we will finish it there, as always. Thank you all for watching. I'm glad we just had a nice 3 hours, a bit of chatting away. And I don't know what we're going to do next, but it will be next week. Not this weekend. I think this weekend will be spent on other things. Next week, we will be back at streaming. Be it a game or just another chatting stream. It's entirely possible. Excuse me. Otherwise, as always, good night. Sleep tight. And don't let Count Ymir bite, because he'll be starting to nibble on your fingers if you're not careful. The guy's, he's a freak. He's a freak of nature. Yeah, remember, recalls that. Otherwise, nighty-night, everyone. Nighty-night.